Folle, Assalamu alaikum. Alimbe mobe tilinyanna. Wallahi. Alama ale nali jo. Nga ala tentu ngali tentu. Bi fana mu dimaso dolet. Binninda ninkinan kolle nada de. Alale mfana so wala drong. Moma kuno je barinke kuten na koto kuten na sister kuten na brother tenga mko. Abarin kuten na auntie kuten na alkana njalos. Okay? Mbalu korosika na alkana njalos. If you guys can hear me clearly, we are back up again. Binto Media Network. I mean, it's not akai banku doku wasita. Fanga banku doku, okay? Nata. If you guys can hear me clearly, text us, let us know. I cannot afford any glitch today. Today is March 20th. Alimbe mobe tilinyannalbe daoda. Mbal sola duala. Ngami ngani mfangoye ala omare ala ya kaliyeje. Alama mi Allah hajo be kullo banketo man satalla mimbete atal to alama ayal sowala. Akana also found na mi alon ko min mambete alto. Atol funding kel min be tamadula mbembulo likliklali aliya domandoma mbali kontona so mbe dunna bi kacha kono parliamentary election ole be keri mute. Who is mute? Jamala be mute. Okay.
Definitely that mute. Was time what a mute.
I'll mute no, but I'm the one speaking. If they can hear me.
Yeah, everyone can hear you.
Saja I'll come moila, Foday I'll come moila, but Foday Chorr. I'll come moila, but let me know because I want to make sure it's okay now. Okay. Mbalo konton kanenung, nka fali ko funding ke amandia, alo maral be dunia daoda jeso ne alalma. Bare murun tanan nka ke dimas wodi mas nyame, bi man fata. Wodi mas kilingole. Nka minke kunun dimaso, anil sama dimaso minkana. Nko nga brother soul soto jam nga koto ke soto jam but first of all nga special guest la soto koto ke Foday Chorr ning Dabakh wali e batu follow wali yamu jannet but nale korosi roga tema tentin jada ika fay Mr. Essa Jawla dol ka bolo Foday hani de Essa la ma tot Mr. Jawla wato kanga niele purun sa samana bara alamala nyini fo nyin sila ngai Jawla ben join na feretije bordula tela akonye hani banku do ko mbe den tawala so Mr. Jawla alama nyimui folol alama kane ke la bangot ne samana njang lafte fana na haklin ni ko lafta wala yusla ko do ke Foday Chorr hayna santa jada ate hana birimintin talent ka singol mutanan nga sabana I little time more time so to doron katana Mr. Dabakh Malick fele ate mun na partner in crime let ate surrender so alimbe mobe tilinyanna mbal kontona bin lafta ka parliamentary election o min kana wala kacha akumaya tabake akumaya jaliba mbe credit dila jalila I hold on parliamentary election o nte bintaya is more important than presidential election. The reason go for because parliamentary election o mufankun net. Jamale bete represent la. Jamale bete la voice fola no wo deputy bon. Wala bin na kachati mbe focus la wala kam momo dunta na njento la legacy minti wala respect alkana mo hormanta ya jang mbe bulok la andal ke bayata al nyanta nal kam follow al nyanta wolon nale from the beginning so mbe mobe tilinyana guess all al sal fang on mute Jawla
Yes
Jawla be konton na ite dunam follow yo mol konton ni Binto Media community mol ye nyo konton
yo na sister guy be konton na bake because if ana mu banku dineti me yalon ko yela banko kanu and then always nkajele kamol invite nang kela opinion share ila platform auto me yalon ko is part of the at the banku do ko le kon yo Gambia ko men ka fu nyamen dorom bele den da jela yo kanyum program si fa ken tol fana mu adama dum dambanete kaje ko amanke kombe everything foka abe kelap abu kuleti me yalon ko wala nyanta kake because adama dum nal benda dulato bro mandin kol ka fo men hakilite so wo kamala dron mbete kontonna yanyin good initiative menke kamol invite nankela opinion share ila bankola koto ela panel oda panel sol fana menketa Mr. Dawati ba fana kontonna anin nabroda na koto ke menketa Foday Chorr ngal be konton because nsa fo non temu ntele mu londin tamati nyil flow be kono because you know ñil be mu molleti men yalon ko they are very experienced ni na tani bankola do kola so nin kumum fanan be karanke tellale so o be kama do anila juber lal nge fanan konto men yalon ko be juber wala la vi wasol because ne aje ko tel fanan be na ite fanan be motivate la every time kana ka platform di molla because of viewers solo ngalla file be kumo men fo kay ya moy so wo kamala do tel fanan kela resources le use ka mol jube ka kuma kan dol tay si record dol ya putandi modol ma men yalon koy manyin opportunity soto kana live ka mol jude wo kamala don be mo be kontonna aka alakana ki amanke nyina mun na folote alakana ken na labanti jang andun da boda sol fanan ate ko be dwale be fane fo ala si be so si mane jada ken la kanyi nyosia ila platform modo
you are welcome. I'm always welcome in Dentanyim platform or Lanka for mobile. So you are part of this. Foday Chorr.
Yes.
Bismillah.
Yo, alhamdulillah. Audu billahi minas shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah mbe alaman satalla tentula. Alami yalon ka telentul be da duniya fengu be daje. Ay bunga manke jato la waroti. Nse alaman satalla tentu ay murunde na jankote ke nasi. Oto mbeñ jama wato dala pour que defo konton ke jay ke tentu. Ka duwaye fo ñu platform o. Ala mala yiri wa continent. Mbe mur la ko ke benna kontano yitandila. Ñu mo fulul mini yalon kon ni wolle nata si kana kacala. Nina London dingo nyonya kubili ngo sote bulu wolom buñati ni horomo oto mbe fol fana kontonna mbe jayla mbe tentula nka mamman ku kula nka banko la Cairo le doa although we may have different political affiliations or na mirol tekela kilinde barni ajibe do mandin kol kam fo kulum bulala be mo ngani akilinete kolom be ngate Cairo political party de Gambia minna programme mo pour ka Gambia kasala Namiro let take killing it, or maybe we are parallel. We are all parallel lines. We will not end up at the middle at a point, but Nanganiol will killing it. Otombe Jawla, yes, I'm very humble. The remarks, Pare, Ndengamra, and Tebe Karanal Jolibulu, because the manual Kafalin. Tonya Daba, Famata, Na Famata platform. But Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, Alaman Sakalaya, Akilu Dialale. Bidwal alma alay hakilu tuwal bulu funding ke akon almaliyate kayrakon mu be mu Gambia la kayroti alma alay o kenyi amba fulade ala baraka bake
Dabakh.
Yeah, Sister Binto, alhamdulillah, always glad to be back. It's been a while, but I always watch this show every Sunday, whether I am on the panelist or not, because I think it's a very important platform. And like I always tell you, Gambia needs this kind of platforms because it's important we hear the views of different people. My belief is everybody has an opinion. And like Brother Foday said, nobody or no political party is out there to destroy Gambia. We may see things differently, but what is more important is if we put emotions aside and respect the views of everyone. And whereas we disagree, we need to engage in constructive debates and dialogue to share knowledge, because that's the only way we can build Gambia. Once again, we appreciate those people who take their time every Sunday to watch the show. To the panelists also, they are my brothers, and I said assalamu alaikum to all of them. And I hope whatever we discuss here today would be for the interest of Gambia. If we say anything that deviates from the facts or anything that hurts anyone, we understand that we are human beings And because perfection is an attribute of God, no human being is perfect. But our intention is never to hurt anyone. But to be honest, we always stand for what we believe in, and we are at liberty to say and express how and what we think. So maybe we go ahead and then dwell into the program.
Okay. If I'm echoing, I would like to know. I would like to know.
Yeah, it's echoing a little bit.
It's echoing a little bit. Ooh. Okay, we cannot afford that. Abenyadi, is it still echoing?
Yeah, it's still echoing.
Okay. How is it? I cannot afford.
It's still. Do you have another device? Do you have another device that is on?
No, I do not have any other device around me.
Or maybe you check your earpiece. Maybe you remove it and then put it back.
Put it back on. Yes. Okay. Please. Abenyadi.
Yeah, now it's okay.
It seems to be better.
Now it's okay. It's way better.
Okay, so this is what I want to say. On the flyer, we said Melville is coming. Melville is gonna answer our legal questions, but he will be on the phone probably. Okay, later on the show, Melville mba sambalana for our legal question. Kachani mina stadla aliyambala linga. I have to make sure we don't have a glitch.
No, it's okay now. It's fine now.
Okay.
It's really clear now.
Okay. So for the ultale. Daba.
Yes.
Jawla.
Yes.
I have looked nga jibe roke on the candidates. I have the list. Nga listo soto jang. Honestly, candidate will be mini nyantanala ye mini lota. Nsunuta kuola back. Ayo akue ni okuya akue nsunu. Gambia sanji talulu sanji warola. Musol they are not part of Gambia's building. Musol mantara territory to. Banko titala no sinkili na watu wat. Lafita kake banko luminity. Musol they are part of it. In decision making. Mbenna kuwa mba folali exactly. Nali listo nyinjibe. Banjul administrative area. Nga 14 candidates lesotoje. Only 2 are women. 1 GFA, 1 independent. Nali Kanifing administrative area GB. 35 candidates. 1 UDP, 1 CA, 2 PDOIS, 1 NPP. Nali Brikama administrative area GB. 63 candidates. 2 independent. Mbe musolela 2 independent. 1 APRC, 1 UDP, 1 PDOIS. Jayan Sunubak, Birkama administrative area Wartabak. NPP is so wrong. NPP waliye keman sakunda tibi. Musoli karte fay waliye. Han one candidate imasoto in Birkama administrative area. Those are when you binto a break. APRC koning walni MPP be kala Clinton. It's just too big. Puru hani musu killing. Kelbe nyo sabo minna nyimpala solto, it has to stop. Alafo keli musol so chancellor. Akuo suno warta akuo ni kuya nalko musol wuludula is a problem. For muso e si tabulo kan ay decision o ke musoli. Kebu ka wulu. Ni muso man si tabulo ta ya fo wulu be nyame. Alte decision kala non tolo koma. So mbe bolaje President Barrow is just unacceptable. Muso Brikama administrative area, 63 candidates, no NPP. Ngata Kerawan, 33 candidates, 2 female only. 1 NUP, 1 UDP. NPP has no candidate in Kerawan administrative area. It's wrong. They have to. We go to Mansa Konko, 22 candidates, no female candidate. Candidate to mi alonko musolem in Mansa Konko administrative area. Nana Janjambure, 59 candidates, 3 female, 1 UDP, 2 NPP. Nana Basse administrative area, 25 candidates, only 1 female, 1 UDP. We cannot run the country like that. Al chance di musol. Ntol nena mamo musole corruption o ka nyim ko di bale sunya. Al development alin count us in. Nim place nyino sita man sakunda fen kada mobe participate. Ni participate ko they expect to be paid back. Bawe toli e kata ko lake. Ite fonga ya lon koy man qualified. Ila londo man sije. Ku dol ke lillahi alay. Dol sa fa kon mbe participate la bare fonga mbadi ngol londo palaso. What selection is wrong? Ayan sunule ayan niyo kuya and the musol should be given inyanta kangodila musol. University be 1,038. Nali ajibe musudindungoli be konole. Alta fonan polier Gambian musoli ko. Musuti min qualified in Brikama administrative area, Kerwan administrative area, Mansa Konko, every part of the country. Wayan sunu back. So walam nakachati al bismillah. For the teta kotoke tena.
Oh, okay. Ngamro nun dabale binanong karno still not technical advice expert on this area. But all the same, mbe molbe kontonna lamoyral animin be jiberola. Animin bina jibela. Benna konton do itandela mbe na panelist fana bunyala ke horoma bake ila londo ni warta bake political la kotale. Bari ya commencé musol mini ya lanko wolle nyanta lola pour ka député ya nyene kela disappointment yitandi ko imam buy political party to be dan la drum nga kukiling sene yandi mol ma pour sa faham munatin nan kata député carte fayola ani munam député la do poti banko kam mondo bato linga o yitandi mo la dron mbe sonnale ko oto musol fana danyanta bulala o konole niatra ko permission dinna I can go on that
go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
Follow banko olom country but man takunda nying ay sinkir sabale soto o sinkir sabo nga sukundi wala kam pour ka banko do kondi anu amanke ko lamoy minke lamoy malon barka mño hakilo bulandelam tro wala munti wolom presideno kamin tombong bayri mo beti dunno la kilin kasi ka banko la depasso kacha ko nga mo kilin tombon se depasse nga nakodo be kafunyo kamin mo banko la depasso te nga duma bulo kono ate mo kilin dam mata nyin depasso be tala aya fo be dunna dami luwaye dadaro ko ase mo tombong ay karfa palaso la palaso min yalon ko banko nyanta tamala wala nimba fula nin tubab kan wala wolon cabinet wolom ala cabinet o kono ani min be kacala so cabinet o nyim fana kabra ol dala don nata je ko nin itol damma be sile ko be nin hakilima yala de paso bita damin oto tumando baton se hello soto ma boydula soto na bunda do soto kapo legislative ni tole o de paso foko nyine bita agriculture nyine bita musol la karola nyine bita security ro nyine bita health ya be kafu nyokam iko nangam lom dalle mbe sonna la iko oton se muru mol kam wo mol pana jolal ni la bullo be ite bungo so no la Gambia be sila damen ka kacha so oton ko nga banko ta nga fara nga ke député la bankol nata 53 député soto de kamo di president o prase molulu tombon ka lawol kam fana right so mo talulo ni sabo molle ka ol tomboy bota quartier o quartier do nitol ko ha dro molle ko ha so e badra ko banko la depasso bina wolle ya e siya jube fo e min fo tanko la karola o kodo akanyanta le fa da sata fa tambita even fo karangola londo la karola fa ada sata fa tabata so wo député bungo nka wala kuma fo min yalanko nim président non ala cabinet de passo dada e nyanta na la wolle pour ko jibe min bota je fana wo député bungo wolle nyanta ka loi dada loi mi yalanko wolle nyanta kante tanka ay modo tanka ay te tanka ani mol min ya tombo so ni a jibe ni atra ko loi min be dada kan a loi man tara ka dada pour UDP kolé APRC kol NPP kol abe dada kan pour Gambia belé so to député bungo ni futata auto don parti mantra je woma nyana kala partisan so what is the primary duties and responsibility of a parliamentarian country first nyanta wol bulalan ko wolera ning wo potaje their other duties and responsibility is kanaka loi legislate mi yalon ko sun tul tanka en protect ni wonte ndemi man sembo soto warante min kotota warante min mumusoti waranye mu dinewoti waran mudo se boyakam so loi le so the other arm wolom the judiciary. Obviously, the judiciary is the Attorney General, and in more many yalan ko wolle loi krang. If faramanse ata loi to andu se loi ta ya faram fanse no mole iko judiciary wol fana bunda lot. So manta kunda APRC manta kunda ye kongiman la fila kukili wole samana wolom ye power in separate. But wo power separation no ka make so mimbe kala checks and balances se soto. Okita ku kendel. Sa ni ngatra ko nata pour ko député mol tombo. Nkata nyadi le député bungoto mo be kata sembe political party ol ni mi ma nyafa political party ola ikalo ifaye ko independent olo momi lota fay so ye wo sida min samana wo sida lo mi yalon ko akumayata odintala miroto na political awareness na londo ni na jerinya party ol to wolle dasata andum anyanta futala damen amman futa jeto wodum manke ko political party ol damma nyanta bulo chodila wala nga fay ko munati nalmo musol londi polo we have to look at it holistically alinga Gambia fango jibe as a country ndola institutional na bankol kono I endow with our religious belief pol fana dabe democratization process kono ikajale na dino dol bije ye musol futandi dami dina dole musol futandi dami ani musol fango ye fango mutanyami where tradition is too deeply rooted in our society. Ma bundino. Best example kilindile. Musole lawyer ya karang. If I'm the lawyer yato, ye tombo ye dundi in the judiciary. Mudoli aje ko manya na kala because dino mofo. So in itself, ka musol fanala confidence knockdown. Until awareness nyanta musol jelal as partners, they should be given equal opportunity to control be. There shouldn't be anything. Because opportunity lo ngajibe who can best exploit it amariata. Amariatam. Bari na dinol, na adol, na trakol, wolle atina some of these things is lacking. Andum fonse mu wolle faram fansa mole ya faham. Ntalo momo ludla nyanta kala dami. Ntela miro ton kawle fadi. But ni nata political party also. Every political party has policies and programs lesser. And I'm definitely so. Because we are divided into two. Nindol tata la barokan, nindol belori faye. Minu belori faye wole mama kandel support nun kabrin presidential sign mfele lorin faye. Nindol parangan na molundile. But like I said, nintata any political party like there is no political party mi afuko musu jamate lola or musul kana safe. It's down to how many musul le saferoke. And in kabrita the primaries la mojele umulu tombong akana end nyami wolon koti so nyanta min kala wolon pour musole full participation soto into politics it will fongo nyanta ka involve it will fongo nyanta ka sonko the opportunities soto le ko kel fana opportunities soto nyami bari tembulo figure no la ngafoko specifically nim political party ni aje mam musulta ni ne atina okay like I said with MPP they will be itolla koluning ibalobe fale because it's a very new party. Party kutola.
Okay. Me futala yeah. Selection pado tole ha.
Okay, all right, fine. So mbatonga dandan oto modwe nana. Yeah.
Jawla, go ahead. Dabasa bang on this question.
Okay, ngaya na kotoke kumo nyimbe bane because nina tani musola area la. So musolu ntema familiar with the Gambian constitution, but ngalo nako Constitution te Gambia wala there is no law may alonko I musol stop from involving into politics or musol manyam positional marla. Okay, but then aje ko musol fanan ela muru ko mo sunte found lela because dunia dawdal moti ni tata jebi musol le majority form whether Africa, Asia, anywhere. And then there is no country may yalon ko be president be gagné no without backing of the women because they are the majority. So ni telle ni president gagné tabi Gambia kono musol le ya gagné. Itele mawo ke ofa wo alala kitolti because itele mo majority tijet. Okay, but ni aju be na sister ni tata vice presidency bi musole beje. Ni mansa kunda kono. Musujol lebeje men yalon ko they have high position in the government. And what are those people doing for the women? Na vice president musolom. Ninata agriculture minister, if I'm not mistaken, I think musolom afanant. So if she conti, Ninata today found the women affair, minister of women affair, musolom. But abe muneke ka musoli. Okay, nita data juben tel la party kono United Democratic Party wala muko musol endorsing menke musol make party make musol la Gambia kono because nita tan executive fan kono kana bring executive kana bloody down abe ni ajube musol position o mara be kono and in parliamentary election UDP if I remember for musu worobula yole tomo candidate 7 female candidate UDP yole tomo. Okay, but ngani female candidate on men fanan tombo ni ajube bi nintata back to 2017 Roy Malick Lo me yalon ka tiram banjula mayote biringa lo triadol da UDP la candidate la jomal leketa la kele bat who opposa musolom bi ni muso nata ko yo ko mbelo la candidate ya la jo musol le ba discourage la so wo manke ki la problème ote adu maje ko mansa kunda fana na problème mo woti. And the problem on abe musol fon le bulu komen koto maya fo nyame anina culture la Kenya be nyame because nitel nga culture nyin tar nyame aninka mindset nyin ka upon na society kona be koleyala because ni na religious belief anina traditional belief solting wo fana ye musol la positional maralo nyaton kaya kono aya murundi koma bakele. But ko nimbe ni na te yabe kaf nyoma dresa fo no musol fon la muy fon la problème o te Gambia ko because ni musole problème o soto bi ke on lebelo la ka kele ni ajube men kallo musole bi ni mo kemela mu alon ko mo tagoro lo abebe kala kewlati nyom musole be na funti la ke kele because example on bata la men na wala ko women's life matter na musol lebe fakal leptanol to na musol mo jolle yalon ko ni yobota tingo bring women's life matter funtita na pour kaje ko ka musol sembel to ya fengo problemo me yalon ko musol be tu ka ko tingo no ila wuludlal to ka ibe ko nyim falino la nyame na biri funtita na enyo musol le funtita na ko woli bo ke kane ka masa kunda to kuya boton tella na society nyin ko no amanke ko tolle mu musol la problemo to musol le fon la mu la problemo Gambia la history kono tel mu dindi wala jawaral time defem fono la woto bari ya jammela time musole keta vice president for 22 good years barola mansa kunda kono we have 2 female vice presidents so nyir bebe mun kata kule ke kaka aje ko mbe musol ma ko la nyame bendu ni tatan tella society kono surtout lan tella santo to la musol be bata men kono je is too much ni nata ni sama senu la karola musolle mu majority ti sama sanu la karola bi banna agriculture minister musolum abe mo ne ke ga wo musole kaje ko kebo do ko le ani kono so woton tengaje ko comme musol tonya musol nyanta ka joint decision making la but main important ta wala mu ko ntol Gambia diwni fon aketa musuta aketa keti wala mu ko nyanta nyo jelale ko kaje ko ntol be mu banku dunati e bu musolti mu kewleti ba momo e nyante la rais de la surtout la mbanyo le mbari musol momo be Gambia be keta kewti musol e wudu e keta president di ba musol e wudu e keta ba yes sembe le so musol e wudu annabi o mol men yalon ko nka nganya wala be bulale la silo ka musol e wudu nyin dino memu dino tim kan si so ko ngala bi musole ma koyro kala men keta kila sallallahu alaihi wasallam musoti men keta kadidan jomale dino fasa men tambita wala woto niaje ko society develop ta development on nyama fo musol koma bari na musol fawn fanam bañoli si hakko bonde fawn fanan yantela mindset falinna le kaje ko bata membe kan Gambia mota bono le telephone le ba bono le fanka bawo bi wo patite Gambia memba fula musole ko al kanalo candidate ya bari ngani musol men be tombo yenye musol men be taye kondite ya jube wo musol ko mo jolle be gagné la wo musol nyil ko ando majority voters sol mo musol le so woto musol fawn wolle ke fo ila ñoo musol ta ke saba ko mala ni lafta tala ñaato so problème o membe Gambia bi dobe kiol la karola bawo nin kiol man bala faso to musoli bari musoli fon ñanta bala faso to le fanye kaje ko ni position be Gambia aketa ministry position because ni yeta minister position yala jomale minister ñinta president no wo president te keno la president atil musoli ma bak woto nali anita ndi mansa kundala ko wo president ni nalla ñaato ko la ko ntol fanal laftale yen consider nali al fam value wallahi ñaato ko men be banko kay value la because bi presidential campaign wato la e ka jomal le moy yaay compagnie carré bu ka fo yaay fo fada ñaadi le wato eba e ka fo le yaay mo be kabur wolle bar nim position ko nata musolle so woto nin tata bi marse ko no musolle be batari nket ni tata leptano to ka musolle ni din tar sirin jeng ni wulita somanday koy kadum motole la pour kata hani kabo faji kundaño la wala bre kamato banjul wo subaju no la around 4 o'clock 5 o'clock di musolle kabbe ni la bagasol hani Gambia kono be nam the taxpayer sol be majority mo musolle but why our women continue to suffer in that country so if on nyante fanyinin kalale mune wono
okay
so be danna janna ngana broda bula ay afare do fay jedo
daba argument o fele ite amira nyun ko nyanta falinna no nyaadi
okay I disagree with Molmin Kafoko dino la nyame wala kamutol suppress or ila growth ni wala katina ibuka grono because ndamu muslimol so ni mediam la islam wala karolet. If you look at the Holy Quran, Allah surah tale atola musola wala musuratul an-nisa. So which means Allah plaso leta di musola and dino nying ay musola plaso anila nyanto anila bunya recognize. Niaje in Islam, the first person to stand for Islam ala kodota ala fengol beta dundige Jawla ya fole na Khadijatulem wala mu the wife of the prophet. So Jawla mu na Khadijatu. Khadijatu was one of the most successful business person in the whole of the Arabian Peninsula. She was one of the richest during her time. So which means she was an entrepreneur in today's world. Right? And covering Kila Tata Mount Hira for Jibril Nata Kang Afai Ikra Kila Malom a Bortale Atata a Bunkon ala Bungokono Ayemura. It was Khadijatu who rose to him and told him that you need to stand up and speak if what you are saying you truly believe in it. So possibly ni Khadijatu ma empower at that time ka push. Is it a possibility to tenung the revelations that he received? I bet doubt la purna for molba believe la or people will not believe it. So that also shows the importance women play in what is today one of the fastest growing religion in the world with over 1 billion people who believes in it. So ndanga minje wala muko na ado wala mu problemati because ku jama ke musolla it can justify ko is religion but amanke dinot. And wala nande I always nga for musole every time alta ali alla dino karang ali yalo so that tomorrow when somebody want to suppress you using religion you can always stand and speak for yourself. Because moti je mimba fule ko alquran ayo fele wala hadiso mi alan ko sahayata mi ya foko abe muso suppress la ni ajube dino la karoto musole mu di only creature ala minda kaba wuluta fabe fala amanya nala duti bondi la kake afongo ka na wuluta ala responsibility pour ka mara ala o di a wulula a famala na famati je akoto mal nala barinkel ni wolti je na tara fuduta ala that responsibility moves to the husband. So when it comes to inheritance, naje musu jamal ka foko inheritance man fair, but inheritance is fair because if you look at the logic of Islam, why yake wonya? So ni muslimol man tara tamakan wokan, womu muslimol la problem wali manke dino la problem. Because ni aje alako ni ke fula soto muso e killing soto wala muso na e killing soto alako asala wo killing tala a mabu ala wo broda mi e fula soto wajibole ma kanti fardolem amanke kum mi yalan ko comme like sunna la is farda pour ala bari muso nyim balondi aya sindi fabe ke soto so ni wo ke man wo ke wo manke islam wala problematique wo julugo batanin ala la tema. So what I know for most of the time, some of the things that we do and associated with Islam, it has nothing to do with Islam. Parce que kabring alaba fo alquran ko alta karang ama fo kel alta karang. Ako alta karang a fo mobile. So ni mo tata karang ay londo soto mune mu londo la nafati wala mu ke kamuna fangal. So which means Islam has not given obstruction for women to go and seek knowledge. But also utilize their knowledge to empower and better themselves. So na ado be nyaming na ado la ka fo muso ko ela arjana slo be kemale bulu bari hadiso manna wo nyama because kemin buka wuli ka fajar sali kemin buka sali abuka sun woda dunna arjana saka be modo sambala arjana. So the reference to that is kemi yalon ko abe kol kanne mi yalon ko ala lafta wala dino lafta wala ala family guide towards that ni wo muso ya kemala kol lamoy anin islamo tata nyokan ni wo fata ab kemal lota a sede ala ko wo muso be dina arjana le bara ma foko muso ni kemaya ko nangata sunyaro ke ya no mayta sunyaro ke fo ya mere ni e faje be tal arjana ba hani.
Okay, thank you.
So the thing is, another problem for Mumbeje Banko Kang Walemu, the way men stand up for each other, our women don't do that. Because most of the time, they spend it on competing against each other, building kabudus, kanyokele, because ikajele kom nying coming for don, ni muso lota kabe lola president yala. Most of the time, mol minulka against, akake anyom monyo muso let. And believe democracy is a process. There are no exceptions in democracy. I don't believe because they should just open the gate for you no. So any political parties, but I believe all these political parties have a process in choosing candidates.
Okay.
If I am part of a group and I feel I don't have the opportunity to go after or actualize what my realities and my dreams are, ngata dulato mi alonko lafta minna mbaso dalaje wala ngana on fenko create. Women can create parties and come together. They can create a political party or a movement and come together and support women and empower themselves. Okay. That is the only way they will be listened to. But nobody is going to give you that opportunity. Sometimes you have to see what is your right and make sure you are listened to.
Jawla mbe mi utla domande. Okay, daba. Nyin ko mba a debate la bar kel bi jele mini yalon ko musoli ke jenkende karala. Palaso fongo e ka dila they do not respect them. Ke ka roba stamplate. So I will continue with my argument. But bimbal balal la wala then we will continue with other issues. Alter sabarindi la no nyindo. But jannim bita lafta name sol le dila mobela ali al hakilo to nyin candidate old nying Aminata TB Jara ate lota Banjul Central GFA party Fatumata ngamara wala Fatumata Njai wala Tuma Njaiti independent Banjul South Yakumba Jete Serekunda UDP Nena Frida Gomez Serekunda West CA Fatou Sow Serekunda West PDOIS Fatou K Jawara ngamra wala Fatmata Jawarati Talinding Kunjang NPP nga Aminata Korea Soto lati Kunda Sabiji PDOIS Aminata Koli Foni Berefet Independent Kadi Kamara Foni Bondali APRC Fatou Cham Sanementere UDP Maimuna Tamba All Yundum Independent nga Nyima Lisa Kujabi Soto Busumbala PDOIS alin so timelet na musolin tenjinala noil chia ngamra nyimu China ba Sandugu NUP nga Maimuna Gay Soto Sabah Sanjali UDP nga Jaray muna Jaray ka ko Jaray mu ngamra Fayinke Jaray Fayinke nga soto janjambure UDP nga Alima Sow Soto Lower Salum UDP nga Anti Rohi Sise Soto Nyomi nga Fat Musikeba Keta Same NPP nga Tida Bobo Kijera Soto Wulli West UDP. So kachajimbe continela, look out for my candidates next Sunday ninata batala. I will just talk about women. All right. So memurun na kotoke kang kotoke nga selection o ninjele.
Yeah.
But side laftalia diamu albe diamu la loko Gambian or mini alonko politics aside, and you are Gambians for a change. Nali selection o ninjibe anin na political party be momo selector odula nali ajiba anin na democratic value o match talaba ye tombondiro Kenya left alla opinion all end Gambians for change. Bismillah.
Yes, very intelligent bindi. Ndemi yalon kontela londole do atanyini biti. I want to clear one point here. Janim bitala hoto. Like I said, Hansa be musole la ko fokam. India mulal be min fo wolam wasahata. But kukilim bijanga min fo wolum kon na ado na norms and values. Na society set up nyaming. Na mindset benyamin wole atin na musul affect the society kon. Kula nyaw min baka wolo molla miral nya anila jernya dino kon. Although jama ninka dino ka politiko kata surtout ndemin na londo man wara Al-Quran ni hadith also nkandele because religion is very dogma. Niko dino ko nyine bekele buka fo why muna na bekela teng. So ala religion la ala miro aning political la miro jampata nyola because hada madingo ka political la miro ke anu hada madingo fo mantima. So akamingo minke drong first see what ka revisit because society katanya mi mol katanya mi la manyal ni la daji kol ka falling itela political miro fana nyanta falling na to suit that situation. But dino wo is perfect. Alamanta talaw jindina nentoning bari nga mixle. Manna lo non munto. Jumalom na adulti anin kamune from famfe. So lafta nga je clear drong ngata bari. Mashallah alhamdulillah.
Kanata follow nga funding ke nim funding ke diamuta. Ako na kartech ala kartechika. Aya jolo musola lot boxo kon. Abala islamo fangolo sokela.
Yo imagine wala mindset be wala nyam. Ando niyo mari nyinin ka bi. Niyo mari nyinin ka kay na bi dino le fa.
Yala minan binda. Asa keno amanga kom because amari mu musole de. But kila no memina amante ko asa keno because it's not because ko musole lota wala tina na fay avec fanga. Yala carte fay o fam. You see the reason the fundamental thing just like brother Foday said. You see Islam is a complete religion. And you have to accept all or you leave it. You don't so bari kila ya folas hadiso kono hadiso mi alonga sahayatale ako ni mo wulta a bulo wulini ko alin tombong na kala nyata ko ako alkana tombong because na liya tombong ala ni dia abetara la wola. So that's why during the Islamic Caliphate there was nothing like elections. What they do is mollaka siya jube ko mo jama ko Foday Chorr la da jiko anala ala silanya anala generosity anala honesty anala tilingo ay mol nya fale so ngata waling pour nga tombong ayen to lead.
Okay. So dabay ni mi foteng. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dabay mi foteng is sorry.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Dabay mi foteng. Wolom dino to Islam. But because religion politics Niko Bokala Drong is not different someone with other religious institutions because we'll be mean for la fatalali. Olat nanka divorce from politics. Bari nana murun koteke ila diamola.
Yes,
election. Election la karo. You see, ninga atra konka democracy le promote. And tonya as we move on, hadamadingo nothing is stagnant. Development cannot be stopped. Process long. It might be very slow, but it's inevitable. So when we come to the process of democratization process, we develop little by little. We must appreciate that. Mantakunda membodaje yela domandingol kele stop da me mimbije nyanta talale in as much as people will point fingers to that. What process ni ndole nyanta ka make so itaria by making sure that the democratization process a characteristics mean for nga try all fulfill. All be fulfill no la nyadi wolum daji ko wolle be falen ani mañal. Daji ko nyanta kala daji ko minti towards the country wolum Gambia mum bele tati nyanta jeri nya kiline jalala wolum hadama dingol la balu nyanta falina nyami. And wo balu nyate falin la atra lua kendol mantara lari min nyanta kantul be protect regardless of ibota party jamalto ibe dina jamalto imu couleur jamalti foyti mu kelti bank foyti mum sol. So ning pasilam bina mo le tombo na minu bita sila député bonto to nyanta password le kera because kabringa president o tombo ning a tara ko nga mistake leke we are going to live by this mistake for the next 5 years ni atara mam mistake we will celebrate that for the next 5 years cooking that we cannot change is he has to be there for the next 5 years so ning to mo banko dingoti what should we do now boy that we criticize but we should work with him because ning adama failed. It's not Barukunda that failed. It's not MPP that failed. It is the Gambia that failed. In as much as we are going in the process, we will still criticize him. Today we will criticize him for the Balunya Koliata because Mano Serta. Jolal buka fendo monama ke mano. Fulol buka fendo monama ke mano. Jarankol fana koje. Jarankol dum buka sonkata senola san. To kamano min tan wolon boto kono to moni dara jara ne mano bonina boto kono ka fala ka sunkam boto lay bu ko do murtaw man trakere so sila o mano dum akabudula leto akubuda min naw jannabe futana banko to price la fa wala na nyanta miro le sambalan mi yatina mano min ka do banko kam pour ngaw do ko ya because we can do it but o man sakunda criticize la wol but wata tinala ko adama baro sila mbabundi not because na carte fire nje de pana faham ko yi carte fire man carte fire bi kabringa declare ko atulum bela president so nimbe umiro kala sila nimbe député bon londila a député bon nyanta kala e balance député bon let kala miro mo min di wolom manyan na sonna nga molu samba je minu yalon ko bita sila député bon to ke tol kunkilin nafala kofo ani la patio wala nga commencer nyamako minu bita sila député bon ibe luale de dala luale min yalan ko amanke luati pour APRC ou UDP ou NPP par Gambien ol be la loi bi tawle do pula so nde mo sambala je ay ta sije pour que loi dada danko dron mo kim kilin nafa waran kaf kilin nafa misali fe mbe misali fulale de le ni APRC ko mbe député Jamal le dundila because ntol lafta ninta de ni MPP man sakunda ko be loi kala loi mi yalan ka ban fekela nsem banka akanak anu MPP ka loi min sambana wo mu Gambe bel Oma ke Gambia interest killing. Ni UDP ko alinga kata ndolnga about 30 deputies sotoje. Puring MPP any policy samana onye bill samana onye pengo ngambang pour que sabotage. Pufana manke Gambia because what na president Adama Barrow budget. Abi tarla jele fo wato mina sandilu loban. So mbetalla o slow mbetalla o simol betalla kuruntula na development be slow la aka slow because manta kas falkiti no nyanda min jela wolom na mulu samba député bonto min yalon ko hande atra ko inin Adama Barrow la parti man tarapare ye banko foloje ibe luwal min dadal ay ke banko la nafati ibe luwal min dadal ay ke mobile la nafati andu ye banko protect because kukilim bije luwal nyanta nala min nyanta daji ko falina daji kajama daji ko mi yalon ko for example tilimbalia ko la carotte tubabul kaf mi corruption mi luwal mandada pour ko bondi abe continue andu corruption o amanke ko MPP ko drone corrupt it don't even matter or APRC drone corrupt or you corruption is an individual attitude and no for penne sa tinay corrupt for penne finance laaje pour mbat na lebe corruption ni yake wo se stop and wo député bungol wolle nyanta wuluwal dadale to le nyanta ka sensé to le nyanta ka so nimbe molu dundi la wol kon e nyanta kala multimi yalon ko killing if hamtale ipamta munto wolam ila karamutaro politiko kono ani muni tul sindi député bunto wonyanta sa halal killing ndol nga problème ole soto problème mi yalon ko ndol fon tumando bata dol tolle ngala am fanka kango min kaddi amu député bunto amanke na kamoti tubab kangolo ninga tara dum wolbe continuer la ka taraje amari nyanta kala multimi yalon ko ko fahamle because ko dol bije wol ka kacha wuli fansum kangole soto ni nata misali fe tubabul ka economic memo fankoti there are jargons economic jargon that mo be man min faham so imo samana député bunto mimmo wollong ni ko what is gross domestic product amari famo malum mina wuti iyo sambaya sindi député bunto bearing ite face role ke don ila député bankoto pour kaje ko itela député gagner wala fana kam ma ko kam batande le banko la nyato tato mamba ite min samana ko musolu nyanta lolale musol bari musomi ni yalon ka fahamuta woman tapikalo député yala kata alon ko nalo ta député yala bedanna wala ita tombonole ya ke minister ita tombonole ya ke director and that academic qualification no soto among some can participate in politics you know me participate in politics wo fana mo academic qualification no soto pour ya tombon otonde patiol fana de bulo chodino la koy mom musol tombon so you know koti mimun na problem oti because of the separation of power na intellectuals ila jero num wotumo well, I don't need to go to parliament. Let me leave it with the politician. Ika roba stamp ika did. So that's the opportunities for president or inke minister or inke ambassador or inke director because your academic standards. This is where we go. Gambia mindset nyanta falina. Nyanta akatalale. Mini halonko academic qualification osoto and we farm roke. Ipana idadum political kon because niteka nyimfo wate wat. Ne bulo ulindi konte date political kon. Ote te say day. Kabini politicianol wolle ba fola. Itela dinu nyanta kata karam jamal to aninga karam bo min be lola nim politicianol wolle ba fola ko do min be bolaje pour kata jata kende akoto nim politicianol wolle nyanta ka diamu ka si ka jibe fanko nyanta tala nyami nim politicianol wolle nyanta musolla ko dia anim foninke sila nitimu academiciano tete ko teke botole pour essayer appoint position dame yalonko amanke député position duma le tala bankola bumoto ka diamu je don't blame people.
It's even more important than ministerial position.
Yeah, na mindset ma wojanu dolla mindset e min de don wolom ngabula nyi ndole ta so mentalities wole bije bari bi mulla kalam taro kanale ko to nyato na alingam panjibe ko take so that is a process because we are learning the democratization process is coming mbe fudala dulato abina koli ala barke fam pour que député ya soto because mol ba dila ko to nyato nya ndenga tara député bonto wole kumayata ni ngata one person min ngacharisle okay ko dabaya fo nyamin Khalifa Sala akole support nu aka tibe ala ajiko consistent which is very good understand because tenga Khalifa long kabrin kata karamoto mbe moja wato le ngalong o jamano e control bulale kata sate kon bio mbari bil no lale kata ka dual spray ka ke je moja ji Gambia session we want no operation no this all jamano me
adalo dinol min ka spray ke dulal
ikan an batungan de kana ko be na dewro man takunda batandinu bake but what it's not the topic today ni move don wolam na mentalities na mindset nyanta ka falling towards the country manjana nyojele as enemies anymore misali pe alko topic dole bina woten tarla jang obekala modu saballa na baliya ama ima select wumul wala style bar misali pe ni ngataran nun ko modu sabali natalo intela intention mo mintinu wala nganna député milondi nga o jinga fay ko nga kafuwa kam gon tenga feel ko nate tata je ate manta pour que MPP attack abitala jele to sit down aka debate on issues mini yalon ko ita do ba wala hani
okay, hold on to that because malaf your caso tay follow
no mun kan ka example le di dom mun kan bi tandi do wolom na mindset nyanta falina député bu motole mol min kata jeto because ni wonte It has to go back to our political parties. Ndebe political party mbe ule folade. Ikaje wati tambita. Ni deputy ya sape ko lafta deputy. Ite imu funding keti buketa. Ni ko be a pusla fa ifamani ba makapo hey. Mole karleta. Because ikawolle je nyato wate kafuntina. Ikawolle je wate kafuntina. That is not the issue. The issue here is Jumale bita silaji pour que bankola interest success.
But sorry for interrupt. You know, befiti ro sala janin daba ni pare tare daba kasi fenke janabe pare landebe pare la fiti sarule ya.
Okay, go ahead.
Somebody to silance minke drowolom nga modo blay na fo.
Daba nana.
Yeah, comme
selection on nyimbe wala foka. Mbe selection on nyine foka. Ite amira selection on nying ask for a change. In the democratic value start alaba.
Y'all democracy, y'all selection on you follow no unfair. Because the thing is
okay, mbatunga example odila. NPP, for example, NPP. You ko candidate or dol pusite kan. Ye candidate or dol dealer mini alonko. They think they are not qualified. Itaku Catalano parliamentary. Dol fanga ya decide leko. It told the carte file MPP. They will go and vote for orders in different political parties or independent. So what democratic fenkoning valuing for a selection or yakele the right way. You are not there, but just how we can do this together.
Yeah, just to tell you, human beings are always like that. You can never satisfy human beings. Probably those people who are saying today the selection process wasn't fair. If the candidate they supported won, they would have said it's fair. So it could be subjective. And for me to say the process wasn't fair, they need to tell us way more bigger facts that are tangible than just speaking out. Because probably they are speaking out because they lost. So if their candidate had won through the same process, would they say the process wasn't fair? No. So for me, democracy is always not perfect because it's a human innovation. And people need to understand one thing, politics and the way politicians see things may be different from people who live in the world of realism see things. You understand? Because every political party, the reason why they put up a particular candidate, because they expect that candidate can win. Because an election process is a competition process. So the person that you think will give you the seat, that's the person that you are going to put there. The issue of education, competence, and all these things comes low below on the ladder for all these political parties. You understand? It's only very few parties who will go in for competent candidates, even though they know probably they may not win because they are not popular within the community. But a greater majority of all these political parties, look at the candidates that they put up. Because I saw people attacking Fatoumata Jawara. I've seen also the non-alliance movement put up a candidate in Fonyi, and I listened to her when she gave that interview. I was like, what can she do in parliament? And you can show a lot of that in other GDC, NPP, UDP. It all happens. So for me, the thing is, I wouldn't blame political parties. You see, the problem in Gambia is, most of the so-called educated class prefer going into the offices because that's where they can make more money, quicker and faster, because they only engage in corruption. That's all they've been doing all their life. Since 1965 to date, the educated people have destroyed that country, and that's the fact, and that's the truth. We can blame Jawara, we can blame Jame, we can blame Barrow, but they are not the only problem of Gambia. They are 1% of the problem in Gambia. In every household that you go to in Gambia, there is somebody or someone who has once at a time worked in government. We know what the salary scales of Gambia is. We've seen these people build mansions. We've seen these people send all their kids to private schools. We've seen these people send all their kids to universities abroad. Do they get that money through their salaries? No.
No.
So how do they accumulate all this wealth? is through corruption. So we will not want to accept it. We can call out people when they are not related to us. But that is why I said, for that country to change, people must be honest and start holding each other accountable, even if we come from the same father and mother, or even if they are our parents. Because if we say we are people of faith, we must stand on the side of the truth. It doesn't matter who it is against. But the fact that we refuse to condemn our brothers and our sisters and our aunties and our parents who are corrupt, and we want to have the audacity to stand and speak about other people. Just look at, let me give you a clear scenario. These are two people that work in government for over 45, one worked in government for 45 years until his retirement. Today, he is struggling even to pay rent because he doesn't have his house of his own. So now you have somebody who just graduated from the university maybe 5 years ago. And now, after graduation, he's working in government. 5 years down the line, he has 2 private mansions. He's driving very expensive cars. He's lavishing cars to people. What society would say is the old man who has worked for 45 years and was very much content with the salary that he was paid with, but couldn't afford a house, but live with his dignity. People will say dafa ñaka fayda liggéey na ci nguur gi ñeneen fukki at ak juroom te amul néeg. But they will celebrate the young guy who just graduated from university 5 years ago and is building 2 mansions. You know, say yaay moko liggéey. No mother borns a child to be a thief. And this is the problem in Gambia. We have a social fabric that we must break and we must talk about, because people celebrate success even whereas they know they are using public funds to achieve that, to finance that lifestyle that they live in. And we see that every day in Gambia, whether it's in our families, whether they are our parents, whether they are our aunties, those are the people who are working in government for the past 65 years. So, and that cannot continue. If we want to transform that country, we must be honest and speak. It may not necessarily be, people might not be happy. Our families will not be happy with us. But the prophet said, when suñ tooñee sa mbokka mu ne taxawal ko suñ ko tooñee tamit su tooñee tamit taxawal ko,
by telling him the person the truth.
If they offend him, stand for him. If he offend that person, stand for him. They told him, suñ mbokka buñ tooñ xam nañ naka lañ ko taxawale wante moom su tooñee naka lañ ko taxawale mu ne wax ko dëgga. If you see your father or your brother or your auntie stealing public funds, tell them to stop or call them out. That is when you come out in public to criticize other people for stealing public funds, people will listen. But you cannot live under a roof that was constructed by stolen public funds and be coming out here and starting to advocate for anti-corruption. Nobody takes you seriously. And that's the problem in that.
Daba, you hold on right there, because Janin Kotoke Bita, I want us to talk about this topic. It's very important, and young people are watching. Everybody's watching. Molben Jibekan. Jawla, on mute ba. Jawla nga nomination o jibele. Item UDP let. Mine kala as a politician. Nga nomination o jele. Item mine satisfying in parliamentary nomination of ko. And mine me satisfy.
Okay. Ni nata UDP la Carola. UDP la nomination definitely inte satisfy le. Andu ngalon ko majority in the party fana aye satisfy le.
Okay.
Because bring nomination keta ni bitema mang coming waja moy karala coming kaje ko ni selection o tilin dale wala man tilin UDP las kena keta baden tema moy. So wakamune nyitandi ye more many tombo UDP la Carola majority supported them. And that's kafo la ko democracy. Okay, ni nata ntella sandula nga dibite wala soto je media lonko nga miracle every constituency ba wislale to have such kind of brilliant young parliamentarian mengeta Muhammad Mahanerati wamu UDP la candidate. Okay, ni nata ni NPP la Carola ngalon ko jamabe je ba fula ko mu UDP leti bari na sister, it is very sad ni nata ni NPP la Carola me yalon ko bi itelle mo ruling government because ndela president you know na president ndela president manke barot anyway bankola president so ye tombon diro kenyame telephone la sandu kona problem o keta gela andu tengamira ko every concerned citizens akwonyante wori lale because nga president tombon niamo e commence kunda e sinkri bere sabale sodo wala executive ti legislators and judiciary so niade ye nyili tombon executive will be la plan o nati ndela lafta menna bada manke ko executive lafta menna every time will be kala the interest of the ordinary citizens
exactly
so nga dibite nga eko legislative ye wol nati de prokamuneke ka executive ke la control jo malletel ki woto wala mo ko ela constituency mo le bada manke ko ebe men represent kangedi it is only your constituency mo many beje bole represent ka manke wote de ebe bang entire nation le ebe bole represent because ibe loi men kela amanke ko ntela dibito abe loi men implement la wo parliament to amanke ko abe akela ko comme na constituency dambanam hani for the whole Gambia so nitel nata tombondro ken tella ma fona ngamo ele sikul ka fundi jeto and this is very sad ngamo ele ntella ma fona fulol ko etel belola sarakulol ko belola audio fundi ta janden te fon bota dame ma fona ka hansa problem o beje and this is very dangerous because parliamentarian niamo e dawoda banko failita not only the executive failed nim executive mantar taka nyama nga dibitol men natindi wolle nyante bulo chodile ka fo kalbe direction menke ka manke wona because muneketa executive the decision otala without informing that parliamentarians so woto nim dibite nim executive felita woto alonko na dibitol fanam problemo belale wala kinan ka fo mole ko bin UDP MP bang or any other political party la MP le muiti Monica law platform o de kafo mole ko baro is corrupt baro la mansa kunda corruption obeje baro la mansa kunda corruption obeje most of our MPs are the problem I don't care whether it ever UDP for a moment but because munemu nyin corruption o mem bebe Gambia kono a budget o nyin aka approve min tole
parliament
and then jomale ka approve what debate kilunlo ye kodo na di ko for example ko alinga 100 million budget pro agriculture ite parliamentarian ite yo agriculture wo 100 million yewo approve debite buna it yalo no ko ila area la ite bu sama senelal yalo no ko sama senola condition be nyame tata yetu condition mento after approving that 100 million they still remain the same condition and then minister nata ko ka for ko another 50 million for agriculture you still approve that 50 million e mari men ko yenga 100 million men dila ya samba men tole and then e ka funtile ko minister is corrupt you are part of the corruption because you tell be endorse ka without approving that money minister te funtila ka wokodota ka use wonyama so nte as a parliamentarian be malula le ka fo mole ko ni mansa kunda corruptale because itele nyanta mansa kunda tala ka put into accountability so bar ni aju be bin te lama fo na bi most of our MPs ka mune fo mole wala muko mbeta baro fasala and wallahi billah manke tonyerte na sister some of these NPP parliamentarian ye men selecte ba mo la ko ye workshop o ye beta men nikinaje thank you madam sir thank you madam speaker for giving me floor all they know is that thank you madam speaker for giving me floor thank you sir it's like it's the madam speaker who send you to that parliament to go and represent them there e kam men for ite yalon ko ite parliamentarian not ite nyante ila mol be situation men ko na yalon ne yol to situation ko ite ye president vote nyame ye de parliamentary ye vote ko nyale because na koto ma ya foja ko mbete tanu la parliament so ngete tombo pour yeta representative wol ite bari ite benalo le ba fala mo le mbesilo le dadalali mbeskulo le lolali
do manke la do
me ya lon ko ba fala ko development fund for the MPs we don't have that so ngeki men naje wolum ko ye mansa kunda put into accountability kaje ko ebe kuwa ku kela aning ila mola na fight anyola But it is as far as about President Barola. Okay, sir. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me flow. You know this budget, this one, it will benefit my people. You know, Madam Speaker, I have to help President. You know, this government, if government fail, you also fail because you are part of the problem.
Exactly.
Yalo yudi
So-
pinkola buka baya la ninji ko sifala nal tara dal kasam bultun kanya fa.
No, what yalo nakeba nyimbango beta kanyame, it is very sad. Nte bota bolon kono nte musama sine la dione te mbaka sama mbaye sama la sine fafata mfaye sama la sine fafata bri nte jawara la time nte fem fono la je bere bri ya jambe la 22 years o kono up to today ya jambe jawara la time nte la parents ol kam fonye e cooperative so le me yalo ko ka sareto di mollale e ka kini waro di mollale bar ni yo kini waro ni wo sareto di le itila sama sine ko be wo sareto jolale ebo kini waro jolale o mendila sometimes tel na parents ol kaseno kele la kini waro ni le fonda akodo e buka pondino e ka sama seno meke kanabe tike kadi mansal bare bi baro na da halisa wo kini wari kini ni faloli baro ko le tika kadi tel na parliamentary anul be mun la ji ni ko alinga agriculture modernize
itolu fangole falolo approve itole approve
parliamentary anul million membe tambita Gambia kono bi nka corruption o few fo jomale ko ni approve woto bi même ka fontel lawo ma fon NPP la tombondiro wallahi halinga di bitol jube yalo na sister ku kilimu Gambia la problem oto moli kam men fo wala mu ko we need young people, that's true, but ni nata this developed country la western wall na sister ete yalo lete bedame ndengalo nte dame ila parliamentarian ul jube. The youngs amongst them, for starting from 40 years, because they experience total. But B, 22 years, 25 years, 27 years, you are just fresh from the school. You just graduate from university without no experience. He left a Katasi parliament. All because of what? They can call me honorable. So honorable. You saw this word, even honorable, is even sometimes not dislikely for because unemu something tell you.
No, UDP. Kadum Essa. No mbatum be intervene because time bitala. Sorry.
Foday Chorr. Ni Jawla wol be tarajanne bare Chorr. Nga rejection o jele minketa bankoka.
Yeah.
Left ye towel to directly minketa na broadati Mohamed Sabali. And
okay, quickly. I'm na opinion me minti je woto. It is a very difficult decision and it's very disappointing. Well, on my side, sorry, very unfortunate. I want to say, not disappointing, very unfortunate situation. Because coming for Don Dajiko and Imanya, we cannot afford to lose young brains like Modu and dump them for a side for 10 years or all their life not to participate in public. It's very unfortunate. But everything yaje minkata alka democracy for process long. And what processing at a perfect no learning after we don't put laws in place. And those laws, we must see them to be consistent, to be firm, and we make the person know why we're applying that law on the person. For society, anything that people do, whether good or bad, need to be sanctioned. If it is a good deed, you sanction it with a reward. If it is a bad deed, you sanction it with a punishment. So we have to look at that. Mune atinam futata state, because anything mimbe bankokan, ndolka process of for democracy. A commission has been put in place. Was it put in place in a haste, or was it put in place because witch hunt? Was it put? But at the end of the day, it's going to affect us. Wole keta, another affect modula jero jeta ko. Bari nyindol dum wolman punish. Will they still enjoy? Nyindol fele wol punish ta. Still, but what lua kilingo? Will it turn around? I sembo di modula mi along at nyindo pardon at nyindo pardon la. So, what are not better for us to look at our system, our mechanisms, our laws, affect. Ndite diamuno la je baake bar common sense min dina wala nyindi ko mbole fokande namiro opinion. it's rather unfortunate for the likes. Min kamunta ko modu sabalino. Instead of participating in the development process or making decision process, konga lual lebundi lual mini yalan ko will reprimand le. Ajakalo warta back. So my view there is, until I know what the law says about it, I'm going to contradict myself. But Amandianye is unfortunate. I wish he could have been given the opportunity to choice about him to go and represent us there. But I want to completely say that it's unfortunate. Bari ntapola fananga condemn because malo luale minfo. Bari lafta kudanta ne sene and la janembita. Killing all of my land friend Dabakh Minfo. I don't think we can judge somebody for one interview and say what the person is going to do. Mbe APRC labari non-alliance independent candidates lelondi, and we had 15. Among that 15, nga musufula le sotoje. Killing obe all yundum, killing obe foni berefet. Malon Dabakh coming, any of them in refer to. But all of those people, they got the requirement as senior secondary school certificate, but one of them is a state registered midwife. The other one is an agric assistant. Miyalonko worked around our district. Can make so kamsulu makoi. What you mean encounter, it will raise them as a woman. So atajeko, purkata household to make laws and also be there to act as a check and balance pruman sakunda. Abitala jele fana as a musulla voice samba. So we must give them that opportunity. But to determine somebody's state just by one interview, I don't agree with that. But
the reason why I said that is, you see, I am one person who does not believe education is the yardstick to measure a leader.
To measure somebody's
And I've said that several times, both in public and everybody who knows me, that's what I believe. Even though I encourage people to go and seek knowledge, because it's very important. What I'm saying is, you see, in Gambia, I said that because I want people to be fair.
Yeah.
Me, I don't belong to any political party in Gambia. I owe no obligation to political party in Gambia.
Yeah.
So I realize what they do with their parties. But when it comes to speaking our minds, I speak based on what I believe. I'm saying,
actually, I respect it. I respect your view.
Even part of your members, Lamin Tambans and others, I saw them criticizing Fatimata Jawla. But to tell you the truth, I've listened to Fatimata Jawla speak English, and I've listened to that lady speak English. I think the lady is from Foni. She's running in Foni. But Fatimata Jawla speaks better English than her. So I'm saying sometimes, allow me to learn. Sometimes I think, and this is one of the reasons why I don't want to be partisan, because sometimes we focus too much on emotion. When you are partisan, we tend to see everything perfect within the group we are, but we can easily criticize other people. If we look at the mirror, we see the reflection of what we are criticizing within us. So that is just how I was trying to explain it. And that's why I said, if the laws in our book says the official language of the National Assembly is English, how in high school education or university education is not shouldn't be the because the person should be able to speak English fluently and understand English, because the laws, whatever document or whatever policy is going to be tabled at that national assembly,
hold on. It's
not going to be written in Mandinka or in Wolof or in Fula or in Jola. It's going to be written in English.
But Dabakh, let me. I want to say something. Okay. I want to say something. I don't even speak the language, right? So I'm not going to go to parliament. But Gambian or near Palasolta, they don't like education. They don't do continuous education. It is a Tarano Palasoto for 5 good years. It a man teacher nyini, mimbete karandila. You cannot be in a position, me alongo 10 years, angalele nyanta folaje. You should at least invest on education.
Exactly.
So continue education should wanyanta kalana system or konole means that in the more improve. But Gambian believe that nite palazzo sotodoro, you are the best qualified. You are going to sit and relax, and that's it. You put your hands together. Wobuka keno, but Chorr Janni bita, Janni bita, Foni. nga APRC candidate ol sotole nga North Alliance independent candidate ol sotole itabe mina fola no fo itabe mina fola no fo nyun kole mi yatine nyanta carte fayla tol la North Alliance independent candidate ol last question not
yalon coming for in terms of candidates ko dabaya fo nyamin lafta ka point ole resa ko I just judging somebody's interview first one because wala fourth time to come wala fourth time to kana maybe that may not be the yardstick. People opinions sort of Fatimata Jawara dole opinion and he's entitled to that. That's not a problem. I just want to clarify that.
But they have to be used to media or they have to use to public discussion.
Yeah. But it's not you. No one is born with faith in the media. It's a process. But what I want to say here, me, even Busumbala constituency where I come, I will always say that Ngakari Lelondi and leave it there and a program of WAFI, policies and programs for why we're contesting, and leave it to the people to make their own judgment. Because, for example, APRC Farata Polalsi, Minuka MPP support. Only candidate only phone. We felt APRC leti and we want to go independent across the board, all of West Coast and in KMC. Now, I'll give you a biggest example. I'm struggling with that. For example, Foni Kansala. We have the former incumbent, Wolam Amulsi, is contesting for APRC. Until we put up a candidate for Almami Jiba for non-alliance independent candidate. Example. Everybody knew that Amuliala, I mean no Ake house hotel. But it is not me to decide whether Amul should go back, or it's not me to decide whether Almami should go back. It is the electorate min before Kantala who will see whether during that time Amul has really delivered or not. If they want a change, even if has delivered and they want change, they will vote for the other person. Yalo make important that they will amanya na dunna na relationship kono amanya na fende tinyalan tema. We should let people make their choice. And for example, Amul Kanaji, Foday Chorr non-alliance, but it's encouraging or supporting Almami Jiba. Almami Jiba is a Gambian. Almami Jiba is a Fonyinka. Amul is a Gambian. It's a Fonyinka. He has all right to contest. Amul let the electorate there decide. And that's what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, I would want to go back and bring Amul and Almami and all the other so we become one APRC. So until Tema, it's a very funny, unfortunate situation. And it's political, and we have to go by it. But in Tolman there is something happen Kamfoni, and people take that as a political score point. It's not only a phony issue, it is a national problem that needs to be looked into by the nation. Because crisis whether it's Nomi or Jara or Fuladu, what is important is the government of the day should intervene to give that security and protect the territorial integrity of the country. But as a political score point, but batandi be told me diaspora. Information of conceive nyaming aninka di mola nyaming, and what we fail to understand mol membe koma ika jikin na nyaming baring tumando ba to dol biji ika jikin tolle la prungela do cold dol sonen so ni lata whether nin diamuta whether it's a fact or not, they believe in us. So we should be able to know information, how we disseminate it, because information is power. If it is authenticated and real, but now man ke tonyati atele dangerous ta kidoti atele dangerous ta sulampangoti. We must know what we disseminate to the people, because today, let me give an example. Carving Adama Barrow Ganeta. I went on my page. I said, congratulations to Adama. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Listen to me for that. I rather lose an election or than lose my country. No colleagues or konye. Imagine Adama Barrow congratulate. Nko ole ko alma coming for. They coming congratulate is the Gambian people. Ole karte for. Molia agiu iko manso itata luar min yolondi yo pana koten be mol min ka fontaine imanya na support la imanya na congratulate wolle ning Adama Barrow be du ko wala itole kata nin dumala ning Adama Barrow kanyoje. You see the hypocrisy of people. So mben kanine for ambum janem bamban na dolbi je yela political party mi lo ya bula je tata e jonta Adama Barrow kan. So I am trying to show to people ko my way of politics is different from people. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm learning every day. Foni is our Foni. Foni is the Gambia. Phony should not be in this situation abe minkono because certain mistakes katale nko nyanta wala kala. Ndolnga molni londe whether it's Phony or it's in Combo or KMC, we are going to sell our program. Ni more trust ko itole say represent no. If they vote for them, alhamdulillah. If they don't vote for them, we will wait for another time. But I don't want any enmity. I trantolning model term. That's my view. And before I go, I want to thank you people. Before I go,
before you thank me, before you thank us,
okay.
What for you cancel kilingo nga Musa Fanangele min lota for GDC. So
Musa
Nyasi. So
yeah.
Is that showing us ko atol completely alni GDC mantara kukili.
Let me explain this quickly. You know, Kabrintol Bota Fabakarla no matata MPP. We are not a political party. We are a fraction of APRC. We have no legality to say IEC. We took a directive to support somebody, which is Mama Kande, a la presidency. So we threw our weight and we made some informal agreement with him. And the whole relationship is still functioning. So until to keep our members, and also we have the democratic right to contest as independent. We contest. Atepana contest as a political party, opana matela rightly. But there are places whereby at a contest what we will do is we'll ask our non-alliance members to vote for GDC. Contest daminate alonko abiwin knowledge ala democratic right for kanini because we support presidential level. But it didn't change our relationship. We still do things together, we consult together, we sit together, we have programs, but there's that mutual understanding between and respect between us and them. And we tell APRC non-alliance Mama Kandineng Kafoko Yemul Lundi Dam Lundi or if no, we don't.
Okay.
So obviously that's it. Among Kudolum Dal among any fraction sort of.
Okay. So last
so
one.
Because the thing is, I got some other thing to do with my work people. They're waiting for me. I have pass, but I don't care. I'm for the computer program. But when you want to tell apologize I wanted to be here for a bank, but unfortunately it's not.
All the time. So.
Yeah, Essa Jawla, be control nambe jalambe tentula. I mean, lafta min fola do wolom ndolong Gambia dingolti. Na political differences sometimes in kalandi jana benga kafunyo kan. And you know wajibotin kan purunga na mirol fo. Atusa molbul purisata oita tala. But ni wonte nga bunya sotela bake nge bunya mbe jalambe tentula. Na land friendly ka fome Malik Dawa amanke moti min kunta politiko kono. Nyim platform kan alhamdulillah ndol nate bele bunya baso to jemi ko platform mi yalo am bunya and respect andunde fangate bunya bake ko beauty and talent has no boundary. You can find it in a very remote village of Jolas. You can find it in a very big town of the Seres. You can find it in a small man. You can find it in a big man. So you can find it in a woman or anywhere. So say ala tentu num ala min karfa minna na sonko aya karfalale. Ndol dum bal koma mbe karanal bulu mbal jela mbal tentula and ala manim for platform I think. So thank you very much for your time. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jawla.
Yes.
Jawla, Ali, you do la explain, and this a continue explanation wala alla tundo dolto. But science left on a focus busumbala. Busumbala diamo wartabake. And do ninga jengi ninkan ko dissatisfaction nomination dula. For it any disappointment sotole during sabalitata karte nomination, you know.
Of course, nasistang a big disappointment sort of sabala karola. Me yalon ko IEC menke. Yalon ko kilimol nyanto understand la. Ndol beson ta ko loi is there for every individual citizen, regardless of your tribes, your religious, your color, or your race. So lua e banku di bele protect. Lua ni ba tamandi la banku di ka tamandi beka. Yaje nteni mol jama bejenna niaje mol jama bejenna mireyal fadata nyinem. Ntolu tonya nga demokrasi le soto me yalon ko mbe tama ka wolela. But na demokrasi nyawo manyan na kenanga nyina na misilime ya valiwula. Adamadi ebe kuo kuto alonko ela dino e manyan na nyina wala jet. Yalo moli kanyi menfo yalo politikolo. ala mamola politique lo ebe neni ro men kila fo ba ke ka politique ala la haji teje ebe sunya ro men ke ba ke ka politique lo muitila human mentality le ba ala la haji te woto ala ko adama di yekko ko bara yekko ko fo bine politique or whatsoever aba natin dire ila alkiyama lolu so nenga nyaton ko tombo nga loi diala nga privilege sol diala ko ko dol bejede na loi dol bejate si yam fano wol mane anyanta hakilo tulal ko ni dunia momin ba fule jan sa momin ba fule jay mo kendol momin ba fule jan ko sembo betele bul sembete bulde woto ila banku diwni alay banko nyin karafe telema amanke ko tele fisiata multi mo ku kilim Gambia mol kamen fo tel kamen da ko ni keta man sati tele fisiata mo deti ala la hajite woto ala ko nyela inna akramakum indallahi watikakum albe mo kendon te alaya wala mo moti me ala nya silence da ma fo moy president ama fo moy alimame ama fo moy ko alkali ako men silatate alanya anno ala ko ala qur'ano kono le ko ya ayyuhallazina amanu kunu kawamina bil qist atil adama diun meli limaniyata allo aliyetilin alla joni tema shahda lillahi ala la silo kan ako law ala anfusikum hannin ayatar ko kulam to nyalum abete fone ko e fon ko to e fon ay fone ma ako to nyanyin tamande aw ala walidayhi walla foy wulula fulol lombang ay wolle ma nin ayatar to nyalum kana jenke aw jil qarib walla in mel sutiyata nyol alay nyine fode wa in yakunu khaniyan nakeda fuwaro leti fentiyo leti ban aw fakhiran walla fuwaro mo ala la haji teje luwa mun walade ala mo beka bari kana modol tombo nyine bentela side la batu nga yam fanyimma yin dongo man tarintela side la batu nga kana yam fawma yirbe mu banku dum be kana mo be telefon bari même problème oti Gambia wala mu konna intellectuals nkanyim fole de we have so many intellectual hypocrites in the Gambia and this why na nation inte move nola nkamma ko ntol manke christianol nkamma ko manke muslimol nko adama di it doesn't matter hadni mun nolo jile bebul ite mu loyalty whatsoever ebe ko fasa la ite tonyati men la da sabal kam it is undone by morality na religious bela it is undone nobody should condone it because munamu loi men la ta sabal ka wala la ta alay sise ka wala la ta mambure jay ka nyil be mu Gambia di lati be mu adama barola mara fewlet kila ko kullukum ra'i wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi al be mu kantar laltal kili wokili bal be nyilin kala la kantar fo lal yey bara nyamen woto adama baro salon ko meni bateto iba nyinin kala wala alkiyama nyamen meni fanan tato iba nyinin kala alkiyama wala kola wonya because atile ma febena woto meni babale ka fay ko UDP ko muy jawolete hani ala la kila me yalla ko ala kina mol kana mobe man la fala bar wo be ama fo ko men man la finna batu ngake jawodi hani anda ama fo ko men yalla ko wolle bento hanni mol boyte kanne woto batu nge fa sayla wala hani de woto alin kana ko fasa kaje ko ha yalla luwale sembodi barola ka dunya molma ete ke mire la adama di yalla ani la politiko ni bare mira de kom bebe falal nyin dunya de tula jande alay sembo men dila molla dalilo ka molla sababu ka bawo mol ka men fo alala ya sidi tonya ala kam man sa sidi bare ala buka adama di tonya de yalla mo man demokrasi alati nin adama di yamira ko itele demokrasi ta alati be fande ne ka birin tumo men nako ala ko kana dulo me kandulo me katela e kasino ini yo batele buloko e ala so fe katela ake ebe wulla somanda ini yo murundima ala ko kana nyinke kana wuli yafo kana nyinke ka koli ke me yalon ko ala ko kanake bar wo be katela e kasino ini yo katarate buli ka wuli somanda ka enin jada kendera fojo mala demokrasi da alati ala fan ko yeko faman sha'a falyaghfiru wa man sa'a falyumin nadiyate kafiriya nadiyate limanante alala ala ma fo ko dia ko ya limani yanna wotu te fa optional if you like believe him, if you don't like don't believe him. Barana ta mune fo akoy ko la in kafaratum akoy la in sakaratum la azidanna lakum. Bari momo fana latante alala de mbe la fala nemo la mbe la fala kayro la benyin ni ne kele la in kafaratum inna ajaba la sadid. But ni kafriyata fana balo nako yankan katole be gemel sa tu tetele bul. You either follow this way or this way. Yalo moment democracy katambe alala. So woto moli kana fo kombe democracy ta yale bulo kono. Kaje ko nyanta menkela sembo nyimbe tele bul sembo te bulu. Meni ka fo ala ye tombo tonya ala ye tombo true molla. Baw ala ko enne ko inna makanna fil arda lahu atina kulli shay'in shabab fa attibahu shabab few fembe nyin dunya kono tele ya dada andu few fembe nyin dunya kono nga sababu ka be la le woto albula wo sababol noma woto nim ala le ka president tombo ala ka president na tombo ndiro nyim bondintel Gambia dun le bala we are the electorate. So what a president kanaje kon sita le sembo bentel bulu men diata nyam bakela wo electorate solle sa balla tax kata Gambia do ko de la tax kata Gambia until we are not enemies manke enemies solte na political difference solle soto but bi risino me yalon ko Gambia di woni hatred bentema because of munemu asunta joma la wala mum fon la leaders adama baro because bi ngaji la ka funti akata lo election o bandale e ka fo mole ko ali ngake kilindi taxpayer so la fere ko le use banku diwul men yalon ko bebe tel la maroko de katalo dulado de bedol castigate la ete don lafta ni leke killing woto men keda saballa wote Gambia diwul kela killing e ka ni tangile ko ni le fisiata nyin donti ni le fisa katu momo bente support ka ite le fisiata nyin donti an manya nake ka fo ko luwale nyin kede luwante la haji de wote because ndengalon ko wo luwa yalon ko aman tilling alamal la injustice la do ngalo ko there is no constitution me yalo ko I injustice defend against the citizens. So what on ite ni mu loyati e mu intellectuality ka fundina mole ka fo mole ko president no nyim menketing I certain privileges to pardon for sabal or pardon for mamburanjay or whatsoever il be mu president barola banku diwlen a pardon loi melata ada sabal kan no lata na pardon ta loi melata mamburanjay kan na pardon ta mamburanjay why not pardon it for sabal mol nyabela muslim mol nyabala christian mol nyabala kasi ka fo mole ko UDP ko le munyit del be mu banku kilon tim manke nyola konante wote
okay jawla mbe nyinin kala atela situation o be nyame bawo mo be pardon na diam kan andunge mo le ko president nyanta pardon na bar signing president ma pada aka lu aka tata luwa nyatilngola ite amre janna bi na nomination dula nyante batulale fala nyi luwa e clear out nyi court e clear out ba janna bina and in second ngajele ko independent candidate o sotola minketa Mohammed Kantati Busumbala akwata 100% UDP let ite amira what is it a betrayal from UDP side what question for left yola answer
kobe Mohammed Kantela lo pro akamo UDP let
and it's a sabali follow atenyante batula follow why pare atebala follow janna be lola bang jannim bita Kantela situation not.
But yalo coming fuente, I'm not so much familiar with the constitution or law in the Gambia.
Come atata court.
Okay, but coming sabal tata court le. But sabal I like so. Okay, case ni mamba follow. But denga amirako yalo atodo IEC follow menke luale landi bulo kono because ning ayata ko until based on the call na laws Gambia la bankola law the supreme law of the country jomale ba interpreting ola wala munna George Salt so what on ning ayata ko sabal tata sabal la case be fenkoto le atodo court le janning abe hani ala ning abe lola as a candidate ntenga mirako janni terbe wo luwani use la against sabal la ngamira itel nyanta itel fana nyanta wo loi kilon court la decision le padla because itel marra iso kasabal stop lola fetel fana yo right so don
but yalla ne court la decision wotinala anytime soon and nomination o nyanta soronna
yo but mememo yalon sente sabal la case be court le
an original case wobe court
an original case be court le
Ha, ala wala IC mankling.
Ntenga mirako. Ning ayatar ko IC be tonya tamandi. Iteli manyan iteli nyanta. Court le consult la ke nyilinka. Wala. Ye legal background mol nyilinka men yalon ko. Ye isi law ni interpret no jan ni tel be decision o tale fanye. Because government white paper amanche banko la luwati. Ntenga amira ko ni loi be fenke la president on a forward dambar rek ka foko government a white paper la mende wo man fenke luwati de.
Okay.
It should come from the Supreme Court. Wo man ke IEC la decision. So sabal be men nate wala ko kala right fight and at this same moment atele mun tell la candidate for lu men na IEC nyim ba fulay ko court ba fulay ko you are not qualified to stand.
Okay. So,
andong kawen kantela ko I cannot say anything about that because kantela fenko ngala interview moyle and then malon ko mu recently akenna so kol gil benyamento I cannot say anything about that issue. So mbobula je wonyale because wo internal issue let men yalon ko I don't have any information about that issue on how they came with it with independent candidates and so I can't comment on that, you know.
Yes. Well, thank you on that reply. Okay, Dabakh, let's go. Sabali's case. Ngaje later fane safero keje. What do you based on your ground?
Well, Sabali's issue is rather unfortunate, and like I said, I always stand for what I believe in, and I always stand and defend, and I'm not shy away to speak my opinion. It doesn't matter who the person is. It doesn't matter what relationship we have. When the white paper came out, when the recommendation of the commission came out, because people need to understand this. The General Commission was constituted through an act of parliament, which makes it legal for it to investigate the financial wrongdoings of the former regime and people who have worked under that regime, including Jammeh and his ministers and, institutions and whatever. But also under the Gambian constitution, after they generated a report, the government, which is the executive, the laws empowers them to sit over that report and generate what is called a white paper. Because not necessarily they're going to agree to everything the commission says. It's just more of like a check and balance, because the commissioners are they are human beings like everybody. They can generate a report based on emotions. They can make mistakes in the process of doing their work. So it's important for somebody to sit over and review what they do, what they did. And when we talk about the white paper, it is not the president alone. It is the whole cabinet. So anybody who is a minister who was serving in that cabinet is part of the people who generated that white paper. Because in cabinet, even whereas you don't agree, it's just like the National Assembly. When we vote for a law, it's not every parliamentarian will agree. But once a decision is made, it becomes a collective responsibility. So you cannot say, I was not part of it or I was not this, because it's a collective responsibility. So when the commission report was generated, I think during that period, I was among the few Gambians who stood publicly and said the punishment that was given to Sabali was really harsh.
It's too harsh.
Because today I've seen people who are standing and speaking of Sabali. They were the people who were celebrating it and they were insulting people like myself. And that is why I always say, no matter the situation, always stand for the truth. And like my grandmother would tell me, the way you look at people, if they are last year's words, is different from today's word. Be very careful of those kind of people, because they can shift at any time based on their personal interest. And man, that is not my issue. I believe Sabali needs to be reprimanded, because he cannot say he did not understand what he was doing was illegal. He definitely knew. And that's the truth. whether it's Sabali, whether it's Jame, whether it's Mamure Njai, or whether it's anybody else. They all knew what they were doing was illegal. Yet still, for whatever reason, they went ahead and then do it. The laws are out there to correct people. But I believe the punishment that was given to Sabali and Njoguba
is too much. It's too much.
So that was the recommendation of the commission, because I see a lot of people say Barrow banned Sabali for life. No, Barrow did not ban Sabali for life. It was the commission that recommended that Sabali and Njoguba should be banned for life from holding public office.
That's too much.
And people can go back and read these reports. So I believe the president had the cabinet has, the executive has the prerogative to lower down the punishment that was given to both of them. Because I believe, especially for Sabali, he is young. He has so much future ahead of him. And I think he could contribute a lot to Gambia.
Exactly.
So for me, the life ban is very much harsh. But whether he needs to be punished for what he did, yes, he needs to be. Because I've seen people try to defend, no, he did not misappropriate any fund. No. Police will arrest you for buying a stolen property, and they will charge you for complicit or whatever. Or a taxi driver is hired by a thief who stole stolen items, even though he was not part of the group that went to steal, but the fact that he was used to transport them, they will charge him for complicit. So for me, in as much as we are close to people, in as much as they are our friends, when the truth comes, let's just speak the truth. Okay, with regards to his nomination being rejected by the IEC, to tell you the truth, me, I've discussed with somebody who is a very strong UDP supporter, and I told the person, I said, Sabali would not pass through the process of nomination. You see, I've seen people say, no, you are not a lawyer. Look, you don't have to be a lawyer to read simple English and understand it. If it is only lawyers who understand the law, then the law wouldn't say ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Because if you go to court, you can say, oh, I'm not a lawyer, so that's why I did this. But the reason why people need to read and put emotions aside and understand is very simple. IEC did not interpret the Constitution. What they did is, IEC has an institution, has a laid down rules and laws in which they are to follow, and who is qualified to run for parliament and who is not qualified. So that is basically what IEC did. So people saying IEC was interpreting the law, no, IEC did not make any judgment, and they did not generate any judgment to say based on this and this and that and that and that is what we did. No, the law is very clear. The law says anybody who was found wanting by a constituted commission, and that commission's report is not squashed by a court, is not eligible to run for the office of parliament.
It's right here.
That is very straightforward, simple English. So with regards to the interpretation, like everybody else, he has right, if he's not satisfied, to lodge a complaint at the IEC. If those people reject it, he can go to the courts
and
if he wants. That is his democratic right, that is his freedom, and people need to accept that. But to say IEC work in collusion with government, I think that is baseless and totally false. Because IEC, what they did was just to interpret, just based on the law. That is where they did what they did. And another thing is, I think also what happened to Sabali, it's a lesson for all young people who aspire to serve public office. You know, it's a thing that we can learn. Nobody pray for that to happen. But you know, in Gambia, it's always very difficult. When you stand for something that you believe on, people will say a whole lot of things. Sabali knows my relationship with him. It didn't start now. When Sabali was initially arrested first time on the Jame, most of these people talking, the whole of Gambia, I'm telling you, not many people would go close to Sabali. I was there. So, but when it comes to the truth, like just what Jawla said, I'm not a perfect Muslim, but I aspire to be one. I will not defend what I know is contrary to what the truth is. So we may disagree, but the truth is, unless and until the court interprets whether it was right or not in a layman term, and for simple reason for us to reason and understand. The laws are very simple and clearly directed at him not being eligible to run for office.
Okay. Daba mbatunga diamu mole on the side. Viewers, mbelai no elela nga na brother soto Jawla, Essa Jawla, abe sirin jang as Gambian first. Second, being a Sindijanda as Gambians first. Because my parliamentary candidates ole la fokang, and it's so important nga political landila on the side, most of it. So Jawla is sitting here as Gambian first. Second, UDP lem alsani ninka any question na with discipline kuluoning famajio Dabakh Malick bijang ate fanam bijang as Gambian, so nga Foday Chorr sotolo nung ate bortala tata ay haji dolle soto, so mbe Melville la kuotula jela follow because time bortale the next Sunday se Melville sambana no I the legal question or fenkali, so number fele duma jang +1678 39000539 6 + 1678 390 0539. So I'll say call canan no nganyin kacha continental opinion of minti for another 20 minutes, then it's in our brother solubula. Mr. Jawla, ebe mutrin left ye listo di molla kola sol duntanan already ite amra député Jamal nyanta burunna nang parlemento anin député Jamal ite amra min nyanta fenkal, so bar Jawla kola sol duntanan already. Hold on.
Okay.
Kola, hello Kola. Kola ebe albe diamula lental jinkanano because mbe volume la fala, so ninte diamula dorom bita wurla bakale, so bismillah mo bebe todi mado bismillah alkama
The volume is too low. I'm not hearing anything. I don't
know. Hold on. Come along from Benna na mai konya. Yo diambambalo. Okay, be call kala. So Jawla, list of molie, it means sort of in mind because list on you waratale. So it a fontoli, it amre Jamal lesinano parliament. And Dalila Jamal yatin.
Tela Jeroto. Ngamelong because there are so many candidates, many alonko I don't know them. They are new in UDP. And then but ngamelong especially in found a favorite MP wala munna constituency MP te menketa Mr. Mahanerati. This guy na sister definitely I think not only Sandula constituency but the whole Gambia they are really proud of this guy because of I do ko menke yalo mulika tonya ka boholo sing amanke dibiti wala do port kasilo dada manke dibiti wala do port wala kata karambulo amanke dibiti wala do port, but this Mr. Mahanera I boholo mensin sandu kono asiata Mr. Mahanera kafunti akala moto mala sandu sate ndin sate ba akadunga be kono kela problemo ke nyinen ka muna mula problemo be tembo men to Mr. Mahanera kamen fo na sister wallahi mol sede ata nyina mol men yalon koy botanna ma fona whether been UDP or been any other political party supporter Iba fulen kamen for that is the truth. This young man, Mr. Mahanera, I boholo mention sandu kono me yalon ka found a personal initiative lemo. And in government man tafas soto nyola. More than 20 boreholes. And in more many nyolong and I found kadu. Birin sama itinyaro ke sandu kono this man. Ayala katwo bekele. At man for domurola mantani na fonye. But men la bumuni a problem also this man struggle. Kakuo beke kaje kwa be nyimoli ma ko ino la nyame. Mbe media le to janso mo be tulo balale. And then aka defending menke parliament to the interest of the Sandula and Gambia as whole. Wayakin nako I would really want this man to go back to that parliament and represent Sandu there and the people of the Gambia.
Okay. Jawla, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So Nina Tafanang Yakumba Jaite Bengolo na manke moye amanke moye luntanti. Adungalo noko na manke NPP mkoleti. Gambia diwo Gambia ding me yalon ko lafta Gambia la nyatu tala ebe lafila Yakumba Jaite ay murut na National Assembly because Yakumba Mumoleti sees very few among our MPs men yalon ko ye fello luwa konole andu yalon ne ko be mune fanan keka, and these are the kind of the MPs me yalon ko Gambia, to be honest, ni tanyilela because nim minister nate ya nim budgeto minister nying I budgeto men natinde at least ite balon nale ko ay nyim budgeto men natinde weda budgeto nyim mu bankola na falti fo bankola na fati and then I care about through the constitution order I right procedure le tabang famo tabang enyanta kalo na as an MP.
Okay, Jawla ibe hold on na jele mimbe kela is mbe disappear la itela side le nalte nyomo la but mbe kola sol tala pural ni se nyomo yam. So alliance for 1 second because technical difficulty. Alka kola moel. Yo, go ahead. Ike moel.
Programo diata mbalolom.
Mbalo bismillah. Ibrahim Tenna.
Oh, nga dabani Jawla be konto. Jawla do intel the border side killing. Bari comment Dabakh mem for ek ntefe. Dabakh mem for ntefa nantata ni wallade.
Okay. You know what?
Because Mamadou Sabal isunying. Yajibe Mamadou Sabal is a young man and is very educated somebody. Hello, ikam moile.
Go ahead. Ite mbella moy kanne. Ite dia.
Ya jele ika tubabol kamem for there are no permanent enemy in a politics. Mamadou Sabal lanying problem o UDP wa konole. Because what time when yajibe UDP yesembo sort of government kono bakele. Adung ya jele ko itelning Mamadou Sabali mantara nung ko killing. Interfere ko ni samba nyameng is not like fair. Amantara fair kanu. Parisa ya dundi le fo adunda bi tata dula killing ne Mamadou Sabali nata UDP le bi. So itel mo killing all le kalo bi ka for Mamadou Sabal la ku wo man fair side. IEC manyan na reject la.
Okay.
You see, yeah, nyinin karo killing nyinin ka Jawla la oje kumayata bake. Wale mu iko kabiri Mamadou Sabali ya lonne ko ala problem obe kodle mune atina ima batu foje pare after yena kudo muta.
Okay.
Right?
Bari ngani ninka wala le but womo Mamadou nte fama malon no at the beginning ko Mamadou Sabali fama la case first of all abe court le janabita IEC so moja mama wolo so ngamera wo
exactly
Mamadou Sabali himself should answer that question.
Bari ngaje nyame nga komunta ko Jawla borita jele
ani because sama idea nyin soto nte fango lately le na research kono le nga find out ko yara tonya Sabali fango nyin case samba court le mol la foro to ma moy Sabali da kono ko the past 2 years but muna the past 2 years ala court be pending ringe it's not fair nin ko da court amanya na too long tala Niko a guilty, we go with it. Niko among guilty, he move on with his life. Funding Kela.
Ntenga menje bintu komen loi même forek moluye loi respect ka loi bunya ya kata anyway doesn't matter ni loi late kan hani satara adama barolo matalan banku nyaton koti loi même fo loi ya ke no mol nyanta wole kela bari Mamadou Sabal Tanyin sa bebe UDP bo jama bijele de comme ni nata regret le adu what time most of them wale keta si social media ikasabali neni.
Okay, thank you. So ngela question o mo la barakaya.
Thank you.
Yeah. Elsa call can no mbe few calls doron netala janni molbe please mbe kola sol takang janni mbe murunna jawla wal kan kola.
Hello.
Ela background of a noise in a todi madu.
Okay, rumbala la.
Todi madu.
But rumbala la tolande.
Okay, maka memfo. Hello?
Ngo. Hello. Nga ve rumbala la tolande.
Okay. So the number is right there, +16783900539. Mbe call two calls fladoro netala. Then mbe muruna jawla walia. Then we wrap up. Imete je kachake, they try their best. Nali yang call na ala fonyo alla candidate jamale bijali amira Gambia mol nyanta karte di la minna anda mina tinna mol nyanta karte di la abe kumaya la bake ngawo kachake. Hello caller.
Hello.
You can follow the background of the Fenkarina, but Todi Madum is a diamono.
Okay, nga ve na todi ma rumbala la wala.
Yalon dula lual fanankatarajele binto media network na lualam ni bina diamla because lafta momo ila kumo ekela kumot ya ekela responsibility. So ninjote yatije fo jote yata.
No, otije.
Okay, bismillah.
Okay, come to be Gambia no be Gambia la kanu fonde. Okay, come like because nka follow le na to but last time be deputy program do le la moy kan come like any issue kala every Gambian should have a compound, you understand. Melman Korda Soto Kolua Bijel, but many Gambians are living in Gambia. They don't know that rule of law, coming along how to get it. You understand? So the thing is, the country is not, it's just Medumkan. We are just thinking, honestly, we are just thinking, sister. Because if you look at Western world and many European or African countries, they are mile ahead of Gambia, but still Gambia cannot change because we self-greed lebije, selfishness lebije. Because it's take an example. Momo manigol kaman ko fast ko na tinyata mu ni fa fa mo kuno ba ni fa mala korda teta umila barakanta yalti wala umila comme ima samba no le dal, I understand. But in case in the jail, people they are just there, putting like postal and stuff like that. We are tired of that, boy. We should love our country, Gambia, and Gambia develop boy sister. We need a domoro sort of doman sima sort of doman konton sort of. But it's just you cannot just believe, boy. People we call ourselves Muslim, boy. Dino muna put nga nyoma ko nga hina niyo, but people are just there. Come on, a million they just waste it. People are suffering. People are, no.
So thank you so much. Abaraka. Yeah, Gambians, okay. Gambians, we have to work for ourselves and we have to be honest. We have to be
honestly,
honest.
Because sorry, because one open time I listened to Dr. Halifa Salah, if you look at Gambia, if the 100% or 60 people die in poverty, they live in, some people die, they cannot even see a current current system working. What is a big failure in the country? How many years we get our independence, still we are not self-liberated. We are.
It is 65. It's 57 years till date. Exactly.
Look at Paul Kagame in Rwanda. I don't know whether it's in Rwanda or I don't know where.
Rwanda?
Yeah. Just No, Gambia. And how many millionaire investor in Gambia since 2016 up to date? People, we love this. We hit this road pathway from where Morocco and people are dying in the sea because we need. No, sister.
All right, thank you. Thank you. But I'm running out of so much time. Call us wala limbalali. Let me talk to this left in question or a rap because my brother solely and then call us all Aliam Valium. Dabakh Jawla yela candidate number 2 for the Minkade accommodated.
Yakumbati. And then mbe la flafana fenke if men the badula MP ning fenke Clement Sao.
Okay.
Yeah, that the man also left accord na Bislem and moved back to the parliament. Safono na UDP la fenkol be. Many alonko itartaje this last 5 years or kono. I wish they go back there again. Okay. Ninata other political party many alonko. I really appreciate their effort. Wole keta alaji fenketi. GDC la dibite oning. Mr. Sise. The young man there.
Yeah.
Ngamira something Sise, you know. That's definitely.
I'm looking at my list.
Nyamina.
Abe nyamina le kodi. Yes.
Yes, abe nyamina le ngama nyamina isba.
It's a phone. I will look forward right now.
The young man definitely nyama muru candidate back to the parliament. That will be a big loss for the Gambia, not for only GDC.
Omar Sise long kodi.
Omar Sise, exactly. So I really appreciate the effort. Well, I make a debate buna.
Okay.
Yalong ni nata kote ke be joma kote fola kote ke me yalong kon sa fono ya katale because for told be jama be gebe musulu saji malle. Na yin brown envelope MP ni to be honest, ning ayatar ko Gambia is a serious nation. Ma foko nyo bindo because ndela Gambia bi kelo nying akamunta ko bi Gambia la problemo be danata kelo nying be wala muko NPP ko yamira ko e beta ka parliament to kata UDP le keleje e ka understand so but Gambia nil lafta banko ni yeta nyato alinga dibite kendoli tombon yeta represent ye because ni la dala ko la president mu kulo leslet atra ye MP sol nati dibitol nati ndi men ya lonko isi la president ni mako ino na adamadi una ni dia ko ni ko be bulala be no may betunen nala walakin hani ala ko nyako alkana bulala ni dia be no.
Okay.
So ning president bembul telephone ko to nya amano woto alinga dibitol sambaje men ya lon ko wol be president ni mako ila ka president mako wolo mu ko ka aptilin disilola ko me ya lon kate banko na fala bara manke ko mu NPP leti kaje ko president lafta ko kulante bolakela hani de ela tundo to mol beje many ye kije ite tibo ite the president mako ino lebe president mako la ku kilene la wala muko the development of your constituency. So we more simple Omar Sise nyol definitely Gambia needs such kind of parliamentarian in our parliament.
Okay.
So nina tana honorable Bakari Njai.
Okay.
And in Doila Dibite Saboli because Halifa is not going back there. To be honest, even though I don't support Doi, I don't like their political party, but ila effort men yake parliament to be honest, lafta general ko Sidia Jata, Swaibu Ture, and Atodung Usman Silla. I want to see these people in parliament.
Okay.
Yeah. Wala muna na bismu wallet because parliament mantarje coming kata party mako to nya party la manifesto li satra ya implement because party ning ayatal ko nga parliamentarian also to men yalon ko coming ko manke ko dango do be party yolo ko bar party la manifesto man because ne party la manifesto lo itanyanta try to implement the manifesto of the political party in the parliament.
Okay.
Because he could believe that be party because there is no political party member la ko the left bank destroy left bank fail. But depend that the kind of the MPs many yalon ko ka wolle ki parliament because ni e mol kije media lo ko suto be ka dictionary le yele ba jube la sama beta mu word le fla parlement iji go mu wala ye suto be si be word jo male fenkila je e be wordol fla mol media lo ko hani pour Elizabeth ya explainer ata alonna so ite ko bari be lola follow do dol be je wol ko fende fono ni lo that thank you sir madam speaker thank you for giving me floor you know this this one will help me you know this other side I think this will benefit my people we don't need those kind of MPs lafta MP la media lo ko ibe fang express la kaje ko munemu economic impact bankoka munemu employment la bari te kallo e kafu ko minister na ko economic is growing but imalo ko ni economic growth ala impact munet minister ko na economic is growing itela unemployment rate is more than 65%. Ima minister nyinenka how comes the economic is growing our unemployment rate is high and then our stuff are so expensive so minister kapula jaka na kafo because he telephone malo minister be so foke malo we need people many along ko minister be men focus scrutinize no kaje ko be nyim men foka whether it is true or not but I'm anke multi many along ko be da frado ni ko nyim budget ko na Adama Barola okay sir madam speaker I accept this bill I think this bill is important what am bana mula problem what man left what be just defend
thank you Jawla balali because ni aje mbele nyum kumo jelela ntolo nga député le jele mini yalongo 5 good years imandi yam folungo minne bitaka lugo minne ibitaka ne ngaje idiamuta iba foka madam speaker yeah daba
yes
daba jandi mbebulala ite mo danta nyamal Lesotho ite amira they should be back in parliament or they should be in parliament and ibe min dalila le yatineo.
Yeah, I totally agree with Jawla. Wala nante nga for from like National Assembly manke partisan party because if you don't understand nga for once you get into parliament and you swear ila party kola nyenta landela karala you are there to represent every Gambia. So ndafe minul yalam koy benunje anu ngela doko evaluate in the past 5 years. And ngalon ne ko ni murta at the National Assembly abe kala kula timiano ko abe Gambia bela na fala. Number 1 on the list is Honorable Sidia Jara because bawo Halifa kate murula nang andunte Halifa la mun dala deputy in Serakunda. I would have also loved to see Sana Jawara back, but Maje a nomination submit. And I think abe kala no mole timiano ko abe Batiala back and na semurunung back to the National Assembly.
Sana Jawara UDP long kodi?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I would also
MP lam. Fladula MP lam.
Fladula MP lam. Yes. Sana yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd also love to see Yakumba Jaite back in Parliament. I would also love to see Tumanjai. I would also love to see Omar Sise.
Okay.
I would also love to see Usman Silla. I would also love to see Atondi Fang, something Seka. She was nominated though because actually the differently able Anti Hadisega. She is the one representing the differently abled people at the parliament.
Oh yeah, support. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have loved to see her back. And in the new people who are coming up,
don't go ahead on that. Left the Amalo Musola cool. Ate nya problem also. So aka feeling neke. But ntangamra sakunda ni amurundi and they should give her the best quality of Fenko. And I mean asola tamina. Malo for community for something, they should really provide that for her. Because last minute I be complain can for akomole fanka reading kai sometime. So that's really sad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Ngamela parliament nyanta wo budget la. Wala tinam ko yalang Gambia parliament ku jamala nyanta kala je ni yalang ka buka keje.
Yeah. So Dabakh more told you.
Mokutol, I would really love to see Nene, even though sometimes I do not mostly agree with her 100% on how she goes about things. But you know, it's a democracy, and yalo momo, it's good. More be different sort of, because it gives the people the opportunity to evaluate and make the best decision. You understand? So Mbella Flafananga text Jefanang Aina National Assembly because he's a young person, a lot time, a lot dedication, a lot resources, everything to serve the people. And for me, the National Assembly is more of like a place where people should go and serve, but not what benefits they can gain. It's sad that Aminata Korea Fanang last time around, she ran under not too young to run. She's a very smart lady. And during the coalitions, we have seen the role that she played, especially during the impasse. She took a very high risk to stand up, and I think she was Khalifa personal assistant, as the spokesperson of the coalition, during those serious times, I think, being also a woman who is very smart and intelligent, I think she will add value to that. And even sad that some of the new members also, a lot of them, I don't know them personally. And to be honest, I don't want to speak about people when I don't know them personally or have not seen something that they do, that they have done in the past. So, and I think also it's important that they come out in public. They should create social media pages and, tell people about who they are and what they intend to do.
I think that we should create that as a tradition. Nim president will woman debate ke. Parliamentarians, they should have a debate. Wolnyanta debate kala because parliament wolnyanta debate nolale. They should know how to speak. They should know inyanta cool articulating yame. So I would suggest woman namirol. I would suggest debate should be part of this process. Honestly,
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that one. They need to engage more because Parliament is more of like argument and counter argument. If you support something, you must be able to portray and lay out the reasons why you support it. If you are against it, also you should be able to a different a different perspective of why you are not in support of it. So I think that also would really help. It will make Gambians also to understand the kind of people they are and what they represent. But what is more important is, in running for public office, for me, credibility is number one. And a track record, no matter how educated you are, no matter how smart you are, if you don't have that reputation of being a credible person, I don't think people should vote for you. And Gambians need to understand this parliamentary election shouldn't be about party, shouldn't be about fighting Borough not to have the majority, or shouldn't be about supporting Borough to have a majority, but it's about putting competent people who understands what the role of parliamentarians are. Because I've seen a lot of candidates going out there campaigning, I'll bring you school, I'll bring you roads. That's not the responsibility of parliamentarians.
They don't even know their job description, most of them.
Exactly. So I think we need to have a parliament that is able to understand what budgeting is and be able to hold the executive accountable for previous budgets before approving or denying budgets. And that's why I've always said Gambia needs to change our budget system. Instead of the Minister of Finance coming to present a budget, I think every minister needs to come and present a budget. And based on the previous budget, parliamentarians can ask you the 5 million or the 10 million that we budgeted for, where did you spend it and how do you spend it? If they are not satisfied with that, then they can withhold your budget pending approval until you provide evidence of the previous budgets. Without that, they can put it aside. But if you have a single budget for the whole government, the other ministry, for example, education can be in a position to defend how they spend their previous budget, while health cannot do that. And it will be very unfair to block all of them.
Okay.
But if you have individual ministries,
hold on. I forgot to tell everybody something. Platform auto nga time change like bi Jawla. Nga time change le ya nga 6 o'clock le. So within time change the bin dunta 5 le. So viewers all they will come later and they will view the thing. Ibe jakal lale. Yeah, well, how come being a misle? So today we have started our 5 o'clock. Murunta na 5 o'clock track fenko time tole. Because daylight saving telecide jante say streaming keno from 1 o'clock. So alkana worry the molbe dol they are missing because they are expecting for 6 o'clock. Daba Jawla mbina mbe rapop la mbe bulala very soon. But one question nga president ojele afela tata tole ite amira wobe mine kala nyim parliamentary election all. Ibe mute.
Okay, na sister yalo Gambia la ko formu bala falati generally.
Okay.
Coming na molu mambala fam fanye. Because ye president iko ye bero diala la fanga ye memfaka ganyetal. Because ndela view to na belief mu wolte hani sa man ganye para ko ganyeta sa tele mu presidenti. So moli yete ta iko ye President Barola Sioni signed them and ning ayata yetebe dame America will ma fa na ka for la face 100 days old ko ye muneki. So ndenga amira ko President Barola ning for meet the farmers to for meet the thank you or meet the castigating solo tolomu. Ndenga amira ko ate nyanta opportunity use la kanyita di Gambia di ulla ko. Mbe sambe March la ko almost in April. Ate nyanta ni opportunity le tala kanyita di Gambia di ulla within this 90 to 100 years 100 days okuna ay mune ke. Ndanga amira wole nyanta kelala nyin toti. Because Gambia di ulbe kumbo kan kokonko bela. Gambia di ulbe kumbo kan fiol dabe koleare. Gambia di ulbe kumbo kan security issue na health is almost collapse. Jiko nte lasanto to wallahi bintu saati o dol beji. Kolon jio men fanga be minna la ka kebul problemo. Instead, president e lo ala banku di uni nyato ka nyitandi la ko nyim kole ya ku karne nyim ku karne nga moyle nyine balka bar nyim na munna government na plano to nyine munna effort kaje ko be nyim kuolta be eradicate la nyame bar instead inde sana kata lo mol nyato aba fole hani atar ko taxpayer sol la kodo UDP di mu Gambia di leti APRC di mu Gambia di leti doy di mu Gambia di leti ni lana mu kodo wolle kafta nyoma ka spend president kunna me yalon ko constitutional mandate lemu amanke NPP la kodoti amanta campaign la bur to meet the people's talk no kan lo political platform ota ka fo mole ko ngambirol boendi le mbiri da question le banko Gambia be tembo men to tabe divide re nyame instead ate kuma fo me yalon ko abe mol juso suma yandila ke kilinti nga nyina pasla we move forward kaje ko nyim banko be tala nyaato nyamenna bari ndesan abe lolin sayne abe politiko ke kata ko te ke kawo opposition kilunta ke kasigate ko te ke bari mbeme fola Gambia noli President Barrow felabe nyim mid the castigate to menna because not mid the people's talk but mid the castigating talk aboli lating alal hakilot albe kumbo kal man jiyo soto albe kumbo kal la jata kende am bete albe kumbo kal ko alla baga soldabe koleare albe kumbo ka ko security tala banko ka men sal tankandi no woma wala mu ko ala dibiton ni amoy dawoda perfect democratic ngalo ne ko abuka soto 100% perfect democracy buka soto nowhere in this world but at least for 50 to 55% democracy ni lafta ngo soto no al kana song President Barola NPP ye di parliament dominate because in kam mem moy la dibite wala wala mu ko ali ngata baro fasa wallahi nasi sa man kan lela ite ka ngame ite ko kanyi moy
and nga jele especially one from Serekunda
exactly.
Madisi Sebotarandame there's
Serekunda West
but fanga marito for because I'm not gonna lie Serekunda Westlem NPP candidate.
It's very sad. Ikalongata Barola agenda.
Mustafa Alem.
Yo, I don't know. I don't even know. Not only him. Even the Tatantella Santo Rebecca Wolefo.
Yeah, ikafala mansa fasa. So I just
ngata Barola agenda fasa. Women yalong ko itenyan tolle fasa la because ibe luwa men dada la bi along ko sama ite betalla wo luwa ni na ko adu ite tula dibite yala forever. But wo luwa ni example ota luwa dol beje APRC la mansa kundale implement ba wo luwa kilon bi abe APRC kol fal torakan woto alinga karan na pass nyola president o ibukata o fasa e kamban ko le fasa ibukata kamo kunkilo fasa ite ba mai doko mai koto mali bari musol ila dahai katole fasa parliament but not one individual. But it is very sad that NPP la parliamentarian will be wala kinako for them kafuko career qualification sta masoto modol be jeta tol kamana gadir katola so the mangadi na senela disrespected but moye mello e kawole fama e ka understand itata dol tana sita pardon la dol be jeta tana duta pardon la yena tinde ke la candidate wallahi wolte fem fono la parliamento na manke nimbaro la fenna da reke kay ko okay alinga ni approve banda because ye wole nyitan woto Gambia diwni mbemmen fulale baro beta kanyim menna wala ko kanyi tandi Gambia no la ko niaje mandi abeta menna aka fo mole ne ko abeta fula mole mando ko keno niaje mando ko keno wala kin nab dibito le manse barala nyene ka bawo ete sonta ko baro do ko ken bari baro do ko men ke sila jo malle o da molle o boje to approve bawa ko dibite tabul sai ali sonta ko ite NPP sopota men sonta ko baro do ko ken idun sonta be do ko la bari sai parliamento to do wale ka boje to approve wale ka loan sol approve wale ka abe any tinta la loan la be any plan la fasa na tin de parliamento joma le approve aje fo baro fo tata a approve je woto barola doku baliya manke dibitolti barola doku baliya manke ko mandibitol le soto barola doku baliya ketala incompetency lati woto ko incompetency jomale bo baynola al dibite kendol nati de men yalon ko be silo ni dalala barinta afford nola man sabe kulolo silamano ngana koteke ko nga dibitol fanan sambaje me yalon ko nyato ko nyine fa office ata woldi ko bu banko la disastality be nyine fula banko duni baro beta kanyin to menna abeta kan campaign la it is very sad today baro man Gambia la loi respect aman ke ya loi nyinna wala tina taxpayer so la sponsor to about use can to castigate that the same citizen many alonko ila tax kodo wole ba ala tonyum finance ka mbolo fula Gambia duni abaraka ba ken na sister
Jawla, I just try to be as correct as possible. Ninko Mustafa Lolem exactly is Mustafa Lo. Janimbe Dabakh Bulala dunang.
Okay.
Tango Mustafa Lola diamo nyine ali wala lamoy follow pour alkana well binto e nyine fo or the Jawla e nyine fo platform or so hold on for a second. Nga Mustafa la diamo moy ali amoy because nte fanang I feel like ko ila do ko minti imalong.
It's sad. It's very sad.
They don't know ila job description of a calamity
imalo. They don't know it.
Near interview 85% of them ila do ko be calamity imalo.
Wallahi.
And deputy Kualem, and we have to clarify so many things. So
I think you would be making a great mistake if you say I am new in politics. I believe I have been in politics the past 30 years, since the days of NCP and PPP. I was the youngest politician then on a political platform. Dembo by forces here, he could be a living witness. So I am not new to this. And 2017, I was also a candidate. I contested the Serekunda West constituency. So I am not new in politics.
So the plan in on that is prioritizing youth participation. What motivated you to go for this seat instead of allowing the youth to come on board?
Well, actually, youths were among the people who already applied to get the seat, but I was very fortunate to get it. Basically, that's it.
So what will you prioritize? What are your priorities if you are elected?
Well, to fulfill the dreams and aspirations of the president. In line, would you listen? Would you listen?
Go ahead. Yes, I will.
In line with our manifesto. That's it. The manifesto of the NPP. Okay. Thank you.
So,
thank you.
What I
ala comments to go and to defend the dream and desire of the president.
Yes. So I got Daba been able Daba.
Yes.
Daba.
Yes.
Okay. So you have any discussion?
Yeah, okay. The truth is, y'all on democracy. That's why I always say democracy is not straightforward like most people want to make us believe.
because I don't have a problem when a candidate is running on a party and they say they are aspiring for the office to stand and defend the policies or the interests of the party. Because everybody that you talk to will tell you they believe their party has the best interest of Gambia, and that's the reason why they are running for it. And globally, whether it's America, whether it's UK, 99.99% the Republicans will always stand and defend the policies of the Republican Party. The Democrats will do the same thing. You go to UK, Labour will stand for what Labour stands for. So for me, that's not an issue. What becomes an issue is when people go to the parliament and they don't know exactly the reason why they are there. You know, there is nothing wrong for you to support the agenda of your party, but when the agenda of your party goes against the general interest of the majority of Gambians, I think it's important that you can stand and not support it. But there is nothing wrong if a parliamentarian wants to stand and defend what his or her party believes in, so long as it's reasonably understandable or it doesn't deviate from what the aspirations of majority of Gambians are. Because I think sometimes also democracy, it's in a way that like people are free to choose what they want and speak their mind or defend what they believe in. Sometimes we may not necessarily agree with it, but we have to respect their point of view because that's what democracy is all about. You know, but the thing is, I think now it's up to Gambians. I don't believe Barrow needs a majority to be able to do what he's supposed to do. If we understand how governance and how democracy works, because the opposition also should not just be a bottleneck to Barrow just because they are opposing him. You understand? It doesn't necessarily mean whatever the government brings in parliament is not in the interest of Gambians. But he does not also need a majority to be able to do. He also does not need to lose the majority for the opposition to be blocking what he's supposed to do, even as it is good for Gambia. So I think we need to balance both. And at the end of the day, everybody can go out there and then sell your agenda. But the truth is, it's up to Gambians to choose who they want to, because now no Gambian will stand here and tell you I was pressured to vote for this particular candidate or not to vote. Because we believe and we all seen the democratic space has really evolved from 2016 to now. And I believe in the electoral process of Gambia because I have participated in it and I know how it operates. So whatever majority of the people decides, I may not necessarily agree to it, but I have to respect it because that is what democracy is all about. But because you did not win does not necessarily mean the process isn't free or isn't fair, because there is no perfect system. Even in advanced democracies, there will be hiccups in here and there because anything that is made by human beings is bound to have challenges. So what is important is for people to understand that whatever we do, let's do it for Gambia. That's the most important thing.
All right, Dawa, we'll let you go. It's a family now, okay? We'll get in touch.
Thank you so much, and really appreciate it, man.
All right. Essa, Janimbe Bulala, you are mute. Tumirobe UDP candidate ol kanne. Mo ka pala ko. Alkana karte fayed because ni tata je ita Gambia la interest jibela. Ni tata bawo itolumo opposition ol tibe kamfarinde. Iba fala le no. Hani Gambia bela kairo le bije. Ite bo defend no nyadi. Platform of fele, this your last words.
Okay. Follow many kafoko e kana vote UDP because it Gambia interest kela. Benjamin Kala ngamira iteli ko ye bero fight president baro because of I do quality. But iteli mo kilo le kafon tele député baro bul parlemento. So jomale ala wodon ko budget jomale approve. Ning ayatar ko UDP kol man la fi bankola Cairo. Hakili ma be nyante fanyinin kala wala. Yalung adamadi ebe ko kuto. Be honest there. Emira ko mbeku mo men fokan kanaje ko is a political language bara long ko mbe fe foka ala ben kitin la bela samale ning ayatar ko UDP man la fi bankola Cairo ite do mu baro la supportal te ko nyim 5 years ko no baro do ko leke bari mote baro bul parliament to joma le ala budget to approve since you believe that UDP they were the majority in the parliament who approved the budget grant and loans men kana parliament to kono joma le ka approve since UDP man la fi banko la nyato tal yalo ko do be je mandin kol ko sondeme hakilu sondeme tantan kune ka don mo man ful be bio mento ni ko baroy birigolo wo birigo afone nata parliament da ya approve ba baroy grant yol melta outside Gambia afone nata parliament to kana approve ba so medical for ko UDP man la fi banko la Cairo ndemu UDP leti ñomu UDP ndiwul lebe Gambia namol lebe Gambia nam badiwul lebe Gambia koto mal lebe Gambia ite mune soto Gambia ndema men soto je ninte be la fila banko la poro mune bete bulu Gambia mentente bulu Gambia ninte be la fila Gambia tinya foni Gambia tinya ta ndebe lifren jubutale ba be lifren planet Mars le ba me yalon ko ni Gambia tinya ta ndeta kala muta mbe men fula moli ko opposition manke banko la enemy ebe opposition o yalo mo jomala mo bankola enemy wala mo moti me yalo ko Gambia do kulale taxpayers la kodo e kaati kay kata ke kunkilin nafat e kaati kay kaka ke la family la interest nyine mo banko jawoti but opposition o manke banko jawoti since those opposition they are the citizen of the Gambia ebe tax jo kande bari ite ko ebe president fasaka alinga mansa fasa e fanyine ka mansa e ba fasa la nyaade because dabu ka mansa fasa de mune ka mansa fasa wala mu be na mo men joka ite be mune ke ka be tax le joka ba bari ka mo jele bi funding kiobe lori bi aka ko ndebe barole fasa ka ba fasa ka mune e bu ka mansa fasa no diamo le ka mansa fasa mune la wala mu ko afo mansa e employ wala be part of something me yalon ko be na mo jola je wo na mo wala ka mansa kunda sam UDP diun bi ni na mu jolali ko alinga UDP ko park aside kana na mo jonga jube fo bansa kunda be tanola so momen yalo ko be na mo joka UDP diun membe outside jak Gambia la remittances diaspora remittances ngajele ko iko over 700 million US dollar we believe that UDP is majority in diaspora UDP din jolle la kordal be Gambia ko UDP junjol la business ol be Gambia kono bi wol be sonnale Gambia jani la wo business ol tinyaba ya lon kumodo be je nimmo ka foy alay hakilo di adama duna prier mira sorry alay adama di hakilo di adama duna prier ko bonde nyoto kana so e be amay tar adama di bulu nay kumo men foy roy kay sa wolom hani ntel manke na adama di hani nabiyo mol niaje ko ala ko malaikol damba adama dute keno la malaikol waru malaikol mu fennete ko la yasuna allah bima amaru wa yaf'aluna ma yumirun ibuka ala so fenna ye ko ke ala ye yamar wala manke adama dute kafi man dada bankola bari fofe mu adama duniti you are not above to make mistake momo koy ko na political party they are 100% perfect they are lying to you because we are just humans. Not that be perfect, but we tried our best. Kaje ko UDP. Momo kala ka fo ko UDP man la finyim banko la Cairo. Wallahi, barola supporters will make kuma kilim fole. A political party men come to ko UDP. They have almost 240,000 votes here men soto. Mo wuli keme fula wuli tanna wo be ka fo men noma. Noma la fi banko la Cairo la bi barote tan la Cairo ko. Let's take example from Guinea Conakry. Let's take example from other countries. Many alonko. The biggest opposition after the election problem also. How many people die? But thank God, UDP call and in Gambia doing. We should thank God, Honorable Hussein Dabo Meyalonko is a peaceful man because kafo member noma ning ayatalo kama peaceful. Wallahi barobe kukotele mirala kalo platform to be. What a UDP manke banko jawoti UDP lafta Gambia nyato tal nteli kammen foja wala muko nko nembarobe ay jata kende ya fali ay Gambia dun labal wo falindi ay na current system o betandi corruption o bo society kon who will not like that who is going to against that? Baro e leptana e bor kendol ke leptana fonte badi on leta wo leptana fo NPP kol dambane beta kanji bi balu kole ya membe Gambia ko bi fo UDP kol dambane ba a fenkere yalo na sister kuma kilimbo foleye Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ako ya ayyuhallazina amanu inni haramatul zulmu ala nafsihi wa za'alatuhu bainakum muharraman fala tazalimu ala lenteli da atele adamadi da ate alamu mansalati huwa fa'alu lima yurid aka kule ke men diata adamadi man kunoje wo da fennete kere membe ala pour accountability la bari wo mansatalla na la mansaya be ako ate alay tonyero haramu yanda famale ayake adamadul tema haramu fennete alkana nyo tonye yes society was society je ketanyo jawoti yes society was society je ketanyo hasid yalan yes society was society je ko e malafi nyola kairo la yalo alaka muneke ala ko denna man doli halakila fonin tumo men na jamal tata ila fata nyoka ka hasid yali fasa e jamal tata ila fata nyoka ka konnante al fasa akon kana mole bondal jata la nyaton kol kono me yalo kabe toro la la ka tel sama nyabe tele wo mole la men yalo kalbe tarle sembentu yalla fon nyato wala Gambia bi UDP ko be lola e ba fala ko doin ko man beta doin ko be lola UDP man beta UDP ko be lola NPP man NPP ko UDP lam Gambia jawolti ini wo UDP ko be korda kilon le kono ini be kabila kilon le kono alikata nyola futudula alikata nyola badedula atelle kan nyola koro kairo atelle kan mabeje atelle kan lo alkanyo kili tele banko jawo bari momen yalon ko e balla na fulo tala ko do men kasarata Gambia kono bi yo malle ba kasara kan na mansa kunda gen GPL science and technology from 2021 to 2020 to 2021 to 2022 400 million more than tane akafunyo mansa kunda be muneke kanje GRA la kodo between GRA and central bank na 820 something million disappear ta kodo nyinne bi mo bukati ya mwala yalo muneketa because mansa kunda yen divide le authority men yalo ko Africa mansa kundal bonya kal divided le etel bemen no ma yaso de maje bi fuarol dambon le kallo nyola kanyo banen wo UDP ngoni NPP ko me yalo ko wolle ka fo nyoy ko etemu banko jawolti man la fi banko la bi wolle ba mal kata leftano de buka bor soto je bari mansa kunda minister no ba ma sasa da beta America beta jara laji itebe moment defend kan no fama sasa da ba sambal Angleterre bari teni itebe be nyo bani kan telle beta ben leftano do ba ma nyul do ma nyul ni sasa da buka bor ke so fa soto je yalo muneketa ala la hala ko le modi because nimmol tata yi konnante ya sembentu ya banko ka ala e men fodro wala mo kon kaltale ngal nyatirindi nyaton kon ala ko nyato kawo nyato man taw man ta kala nyaton kon le bondal kono according to alla character and alla attitude be nyamen woto Gambia li ngam fanyini ka munakina we are having corrupt leaders always ye nyaton kawo nyaton kaje abota kordale kono abota kabilo kono abota sate kono ibu kajinan stando woto it was corruption on na bota from the grassroots. So what mbe men fola NPP nkola ni Gambia di on UDP manke Gambia jawti. UDP mu banku di leti like any other Gambian citizen. Il left a banko la nyato tala nyame tel kadia mu ne ko manu da ko le. Fo mu faniyalti ba. Ngo courant man soto banko ka fo mu faniyalti. Boro man soto man leftando fo faniyale mod. Yo male be lo la ka fo nyil mu faniyalti. So woto ninte nyili fo mune ben tekela banko jawde ba te kambe fo buka fo na korda ko nka fo le banko la leptano ite NPP ngo beta wo leptano ite APRC ngo beta wo leptano so mune teke banko jawde so mbe men fo la banko dimuni ko yim banko mun telle tati na tinyata atinyata ntelle na dadata adadata ntelle adun saken kun kono ko ala konye ko la tufsidu fil arda ba'da isla'iha al kana banko tinya banko dadarin kola da mune ka banko tinya daji kol ka daji ko kuruni fasa ka faniyal sembentuya ka corruption ta ka sembentuya ako nyille ka banko tinya ando ninyin tinya ta banko la tinya banko dingo killing yela responsibility le soto je because bring alaye ke Gambia duty ay responsibility le like ko may même fo malay ko le inni za'ilun fil ard khalifa ngatel adamadiun le talam be kala nyim banko kan khalifolti responsible people olti wala mu ko woto ala responsibility le lay kan adamadi wuluta banko menka no banko tinyata ala be nyinin kala alkiyama lolu na mune nyim banko tinya eta fula mole ko kadu UDP kollo hanide ala ite muneke ala be nyinin kala won so am so ken kun ko non tol be lafta banko la nyaato talela man lafi banko la tinyala men ka fo mole UDP le mu nyim banko la problème wallahi ibe nakarolla ini wo UDP ko boda korda kilon le ko ini be boda korda kili ini dol fa be je ni boda fa kili ba fule ne ko mambete itele mo korda la problème ni dana satol to VDC bi satol dol be je ye bo holol sila satol ye jamiul lo la satol host clinical lo la satol yo ini jomal le kadde ite VDC men yalon ko ite le kadde wo UDP ko be je APRC ko be je GDC ko be je bari neena ta satol ko le be gela ko do bonde ya dundi je so ite kanalo e ka fundi ka fo mo le mo gambela problème ite mo adamadi sifat meni be tiñaro la nga ñaatili walla mun na man secondalte men be autorité fulo manke mandin ko jawoti mandin ko manke fulo jawoti surwa manke mandin ka jawoti jola manke mandin ka jawoti yalo mune mun na jawoti wala mu we have one common enemy wala mun na man sekunda do kulalti men yalo ko wo mba ma nyul men be seno la santoto mba ma nyul men be do ko la gadi no to kan namo men joyti damba on kata bu njang lo e ka fo ko kari bale fututa kari bale duwata wallahi mbed wala Gambia diwbe o ba futu sifa almu alayn Gambia diwni bamal tanka won ite bala futu be kila duwa jabo be kile suñarole awju billahi min jalika almu alay Gambia be tanka o ba futu sifa katu bi wala be Gambia kono mo ka gamban ko be na fata mbari musol be faka leptano to because of we don't have proper equipment and the proper training nurses ñina mu problème oti Gambia ko
jawla janni be continue la fa janni fa mbine bulala walundi amuta jam fo nyaajo bina jolon na wululal min yalon ko musomi yalon ka dingol tu suo ko na ko mbebe nyaro lola keren o pano wala balor nga kungot na yo fa be wa fatat mo wanni lulu sotola ay wala pour na tata ase demandin sanga ay na bornan suo ko na dimbayal ay fen tabiye yadom e ka mojala na tax ticket o dila tax ticketo aya fa ko ite tax jo wo be nyawar ndim kono ay dala su lulo di wo marila wo yota ay tax ta aya kala jibo kono ay tela ay sino no problem wo ko ni ku ya warta we have to stop the corruption Gambia ko bala fa warta le duwal nyanta taranyim bankun kan mi yalon ko accountability will be there ni kuriya ko ke andu nyanta nyin cash flow finance stop la ngata technology la mo le ñu ko par ite sonna wallahi
so même problème oti do même fole na sista wala mu ko Gambia ti wala mu ko e be nyim menke ka ye siolta ye kun sembendi nyola fulol nene ma wuli koy kata sape mandin ka satele ka
ala man tan kala wala
mandin kol ma nene ma wuli koy kata sape fula satele ka but because of corruption nim fulo e kuriya ka katalo fulol koma aka fo ko mandin kol ben kele ka e wul akili kuriya men ke ba kele ka wol e man tan fula kele ka mandin kol suñaro kay talo mandin kol koma akoy ko yaje ben kele kan ne katu mu mandin ko mendi abe faniyan ala selfish interest abolo use ka mandin ko beta ka ta kilim fasala faniyaka yine ben na banko tinyaka so ina tan tele fuarol ta e man na education o man betea na jata kende man betea na baluwobe koleyare ina ta mune fananke duman di umben tutambul wala mun signol ndel signol le kanyo makoy nim fulole be nyaabe tilinde na korda nyaabe tilinde nyola man fen so don sita o fula korda kono nga fay ko fu nyin nin suru wala nyaabe tilinde nyola sita o suru wa korda kono don to nyin bari ibe mune ke kansay e man na jata kende e man kuno jeto e man kuno na balwodo na education o be collapse say be mune ke ka duman di umben tutandam bawn bulu na signo yalto i bole fanan tinya kan say ka sobo dundin dambol tema pour tel si continue la corruption la nya nim fulo e kuriyake nim mo ya fodoro nim mandin ko be e saje ko sa fo ko nyembe fulo le keleka nim mandin ko e kuriyake si kotel ya fo sa fo ko be nyin keleka mo si mo fa sa kuriyaka man na sista bible ko amam bete akamo ala ko nyele ko ولا تعاونوا لا تعاونوا على البر والتقوى al nyoma koy ku kendo kan anin ala nyasilan al nyo fasa woka wala ta'awanu ala al ismi wal udwan al kana nyoma koy konnante ya nin anin ku kuruni kan ala nyine fo moli ni be mo kanula akanu kay ku kendo le kana je ko nyim botan na siole to ay kuriya ke ba fasa kay te mantoro da handi kande kati ba fasa la nyin dunia bal al kiyama be da kaburo kono da menati te la woto de andu adamadu yefo fenke ja ala ko enne ko innal mauta allati tafiruna minhu fa innahu mulakikum thumma turaduna ila alimul ghaibi wash shahada fayunabbiukum bima kuntum ta'malun alkali kodi nyin saya mennaten albe bor kanyin saya mel ka ignoten abali mutala taputu momen nako alma expect anda abali murundi la min tole wala mo almario ka me yalo ka be sede yari abe kula kunu kundi ko ite yakele wolum abe natindiro kele fewo fenda yes fewo men sunya ye wuliya menfo ye mol men findi nyoka alaka babe natile killing ila wo kaburu folo luna adamadi unyante mira la nyin janni be wasula molle bente ko may kam fasa handi ngakuri yake o mol mantari ma koy kande ala dun kole ko yoma la tujiru waziratul wizral ukhra al kiyama lolu na mote mola duno sikala karle ko nganyinke ala la hajite woto bawo ala yela sondo mo dilale ala yola sondo mo dialale wo kari me ye yamar wo kukuruna ala bo police la bari defana me yake ala be police la punishment o kan Gambia di woni manke nyo jawoti mo jawol lebe je men yalo ko be corruption o ke kay be na floti nyaka fuarol be fakan e fan la toro kon mol be batarin ko men nay te kilin ka be sunya e kanna ko de ke wo fuarol e kapko din diwta ye million sunya ye kemodila e ko alim baake be sunya ro men fon nyaati nyine la Gambia kon o banko be ta nyaati ngile ye mo be ke mo jawol
thank you kontanta Jawla yela time be tay sita nyejang mbe tentula mbe la family be tentula bari nyinte kele na la bangote mbine no mala ko tek banku do ko le
contenta fana nge konto definitely I'm so happy to be on this platform and then ngel bi wasol be konto abaraka bake I'm so happy I really appreciate it and thank you so much almo ale
it's your home you coming back it's your home you make bye today
okay thank you very much thank you
yeah. Jawla ya kata kutukatola kang mbe mobe tentula mbali jayila na time alimbatu mbe senda bon na time fela change ta murunta na original time leto minketa 5 o'clock Gambia time nalbe dawda Gambia time 5 o'clock dimas mbinala ali janne benala ali jang molu politiko mambang nim pareta nyindo fanan local government lebina local government carte fayo wala bina 2023 and wo fanan sital jannin député le bitala fo sworn in fo fank president baro nabe minister ala cabinet change la we don't know we have to scrutinize that mbaji belale ay jamalle keje ade capable wala be mun do kula kala nyeno so ibaje la ko that will run us to local government nga jibe jamalle be lola na council loyal na KMC na fenkol so mbol fanan jibe la lembe tenten na lembe jibe la so political never ends in a country political never end so mbe wala kala sunkaro fanan fela be sutiya kan nan do ko dol mbol talala le demanding nin konko because konko na ma no talk no good nyakulo fon katara malala be kala tek so I love you guys and ngal ten to koteke al senna information o share kachalam mbuka wali sambali na njande wali tija birim be nyindo ko la mbuka wali sambana hadama dingol lam control inila opinion o inila political fenko so itolle kananye jange kachanyo ya nga Jawla tentu nyina ma foloti janga ko this saya ate he joined the family too Dabakh Malick ate is partner in crime nga nakoto keso to janne Foday Chorr alkana worry Melville will be here next Sunday ni ala sonta fomba so tola telephone la bang but na legal question all mbani nen kala wala parliamentary sabali lañi issue other issues. Yes, alkana ye mamba, yeah, alkana ye mamba. Ala baraka. Dola gavande of potato face. I for G finest 99 GST. I got gavande potato face. Thank you. Ntolu nyinya wonte ni nyinya lo ntolu te sila jam. So ntolu la mulu njaw ya wale ntolu sindi jam. So I'm grateful you called me potato face. Mel will be here. Mel will be here next Sunday. Mbaji bela mba coordinate la nyame. But follow us Fridays. You will see our flyer. Yeah. So today we have so much to discuss, and I have 3 members in the Alokwa. I want you guys to hear them. Wala nang komeli but next Sunday. Legal questions. Wala lawyer question. All right. Ali Melville London. This is his home. And in Sajo Baro, it will be Kanaya Lamin Tamba. This is their home. Yes. Thank you. I don't even like sweet potatoes, but I like the other potatoes. G finest, don't worry. Yeah, I used to be very skinny. But I'm so grateful. So thank you. I think that is a good compliment to have a potato face. Potatoes are idaraja tabaka, So thank you. Allah baraka. This is my friend here. He always called me. Yeah, Nancy. Thank you so much. Allah baraka. Michael, I also want to have you. I would like you to join us to give your contribution. I always try to. I will see you on this on the comments, but I don't have your number. Please text me. I would like you to come and contribute. Text me on 678-390-0539. Text me. Michael Mendy, text me. I would like to hear from you. I know you called me before, but I lost all the numbers. Okay? Text me. Because there are a few questions I would like to ask about about Christians. All right? Yeah. Nothing bad or anything. Their development, what are they up to, what's going on, are they, how do they get their finances, why are they quiet, what this and that, this other part. Yeah. So, your opinion. Mansa, I don't know what you were doing here, but so many people, you are giving them a hard time. We just want discipline on the platform. So, thank you. I'll call it off today. Till next Sunday. I love you guys. Follow and subscribe us. Do not forget. Oh, please, I want to read these names again. The female candidates. Banjul Central, we have Aminata TB Jara, GFA. I have Fatumata Njai, who is Tumanjai, National Assembly, Banjul South, Independent. Yakumba Jete, Serekunda, UDP. Nene Freda Gomez, Serekunda South, CA. Fatu Sow, Serekunda West, PDOIS. Fatumata Jawara, Talinding Kunjang, NPP. Aminata Korea, Latikunda Sabiji, PDOIS. Ami Koli, Fonyi Berefet, Independent, Kadi Kamara, Fonyi Bondali, APRC, Fatu Cham, Sane Mentoring, UDP, Maimuna Tamba, All Josu, All Yundum, Independent, Aminata Kujabi, Nima Lisa Kujabi, Busumbala, PDOIS, please. China Ba is Jokado, NUP. We have Maimuna Gay. We have Maimuna Gay. We have Maimuna Gay. Sabah Sanjali, UDP. Jarai. Jarai's last name is always my problem, but okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so Jarai is UDP, Janjambure. Jarai Imbalal. Alimatu So. Lower Yundum, lower Salim Alimbat. I'm distracted with this Jalibati. UDP, Anti Rohi Sise, Nyomi, MPP, Muskeba Keta, Same, MPP, Tida Bobo Kijera, Uli West. All right, so these are the candidates, and I'm expecting you guys to vote for them. They are my women. So, Alabar, thank you.